Yeah. Every time, I think we finally figured it out. Somebody let pride walk in. Somebody let ego take the wheel. Damn. We're stronger together. Yeah. We're stronger together. Yeah. We started with a vision, lift each other high, turn these little channels into reasons people smile. Shared every live stream, dropped each other's names. Now we're acting like we're strangers in the game. Clicks over compassion, views over truth. Everybody chasing numbers, who's chasing the youth? Every week another friendship breaking at the seams. How we building kingdoms if we're tearing up the team? We get so close, I can almost see it. One big family, everybody eating. Then pride shows up and the love disappear. Now all I hear is silence in my ear. Damn, why we always fall apart? Damn, who taught us to guard our hearts? We rise together, then divide again. I still believe we can still win, but damn, it hurts to watch. Everybody say we family, till the camera stop rolling. Everybody say I love you, till somebody else is growing. One blessing shouldn't threaten mine. God made enough sunlight for everybody to shine. Somebody getting 50 views, somebody getting 50,000. While we counting blessings like love is running out, then what if your breakthrough was connected to my hand? What if heaven's waiting for us to understand? Maybe the algorithm ain't the enemy. Maybe fear is, maybe competition is. Maybe we're starving for applause when we should be feeding purpose. I ain't perfect, I got scars too. I misunderstood people, people misunderstood me too. But if we never heal, we'll repeat the pain. Different faces, same old game. Children watching, learning from my way. Seeing grown folks scold each other away. What are we teaching? What's left behind? If all they remember is how we couldn't unify. Damn, I can almost hear the future calling. Damn, why we keep stumbling when we're walking? There's room for me, there's room for you. Success ain't smaller because somebody else broke through. One light can start another. One voice can lift another. One dream can wake a nation if we stop competing and start creating. One day, the subscribers won't matter, the views won't matter, the money won't matter. People will remember who made them feel seen, who reached back instead of reaching over. Maybe unity isn't something we wait for. Maybe it's something we become. We're still here. We're still family. We can still get it right. Damn, but I still believe. But I still believe. Funny how the rules change, depending on who holding the microphone. Ain't justice, it's popularity. Let's talk about it. Yeah. Everybody dancing till the spotlight hit. Same people scream peace to promote that ish. Talking about moles with a mouth full of life. I'm on stones all day while they live in disguise. One side cry, other side don't. Same blood spill, but they act like it won't. Selected with the tears, selected with the rage. Truth get buried underneath and then it prays. Real streets cold, better watch your six. Fake love disappear when the views don't click. Everybody judge from a live stream chair. Never touch the pain, but they swear they care. Posting black squares, posting hashtags. Soon as cameras leave, they go right back. Everybody got a cake for their favorite name. If the enemy do it, then it's all blame. How you screaming justice, but justice got a price? How you preaching loyalty, then switching overnight? Hypocrite. I can see right through the counterfeit. Talking loud, but your actions never fit. Different rules depending who committing it. Hypocrite. You're only angry when it's benefiting. Turn your pain into a competition. Truth don't care about your politicians. Hypocrite. 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 Everybody wanna judge, nobody wanna fit. Now let's talk YouTube, yeah, the digital block. Everybody chasing algorithms now. Selling fake beef just to make them bow. Clicks over character every single day. Then wonder why respect them faded away. Building little armies, calling folks sheep. Meanwhile, everybody's stealing everybody's speech. Fake investigations, fake receipts. Half the channels living off recycled tweets. If your favorite do it, it's misunderstood. If somebody else do it, man, they no good. That's selective outrage, that's selective grades. Different energy depending on the person's face. Cancel one, celebrate another. Call one queen, then destroy her sister. They don't want accountability, they want entertainment. They monetize the vision and call it engagement. I'm from where survival wasn't just a phrase, where silence could decide your final days. So miss me with the act, miss me with the skits. Real life ain't a comment section. Hypocrite. See the real streets told me every move cost. Some pay the ultimate loss. Mama praying hard while them sirens scream. Baby storing up to just somebody else's dream. Now the YouTube streets got the same disease. Everybody selling outrage by the piece. Build you up, break you down, repeat. Bogus controversy paying all the fees. Truth ain't trending, lies so viral. Everybody running circles in the spiral. Cloud got people trading souls for applause. And quarter scriptures while they breaking every law. If we really wanted healing, we stop it ourselves. Instead of putting everybody else's life on the shelf. Mirror don't lie when you're facing me. Can't Photoshop your character. Can't filter your integrity. We recognize what's counterfeit. The streets watching, God watching, everything documented. Oh, yeah. You can't fool forever. True. Got a longer memory. Yeah, the streets remember. Yeah, the internet remembers, but God remembers everything. So before you point another finger, count the ones pointing back at you. Yeah. Hypocrite. Hypocrite.
Hey y'all, what's up? What's up? It's your girl Golden, and I'm back with another live, y'all. We're gonna get into a few celebrity topics today, y'all, and we call this celebrity gossip with purpose. So basically, we're gonna be listening to some interviews like we usually do, listen to the conversation, give our thoughts, feelings, and opinions, and play some bops in between. But I'm gonna do my intro real fast here, y'all, because I do have my lovely co-host Imani in the building with me. And as y'all know, she is on vacation living her best life. But she decided to pop in for a little bit today just to say hello to everybody and leave a few words, always so loving, always so positive. And so, let me just go ahead and let her start off as far as how she doing. So how you doing, girl? How's the vacation going? What time is it there for you? I know it's kind of late in the evening. How's the weather? What is this tea, girl? How you been?
It's nearly 9:15 p.m. The weather is good. It's cooled down a bit this week, but the sun is still shining. And yeah, I'm having a good time. It's nice to be on, taking a break from stuff. Haven't seen much of the YouTube streets, thank God. But I thought I'd just drop in and say hi to a couple of people. I hope everybody's well. And I just really wanted to, I'm not planning on staying longer than this message. And I just wanted to say, just to share a little encouragement with anyone who might need it. And just to say, life has a way of testing us, and we all face challenges, disappointments, and moments when it feels like the weight of the world is on our shoulders. But I just want to remind you that difficult seasons don't last forever. Every sunrise is a reminder that every day is a new opportunity to begin again. And if you've been feeling discouraged, keep going. If you're if you've been carrying burdens in silence, know that you don't have to give up. Your story isn't over and your best days are yet to come. Take time to appreciate the people who genuinely care about you. Tell your family and your friends that you love them. Celebrate the small victories. Be grateful for the simple moments. And don't let any negativity rob you of your peace. Remember, your worth isn't measured by your possessions, your title, your followers, or other people's opinions. Your value comes from the kindness you show, the character you build, and the difference you make in the lives of others. So let's just choose, as I always say, hope over fear, love over hate, unity over division, and peace over conflict. The world's got enough people tearing each other down. It needs more people willing to lift one another up. And thank you for giving me this time to share this message. I hope and I know you will leave tonight, leaving feeling a little lighter because you got Golden's going to be going through some of her beautiful content that she puts together so well, and you'll feel a little stronger and reminded and I like to remind you that no matter what you're facing, you are never without hope. And I just want you to leave here smiling, standing a little taller, and believing that tomorrow can be even better than today. And love you all. And I will be back for the whole uh, shebang soon. I just needed to take some time out, do some stuff with the family, and just have some rest. So that's it from me, Golden. And listen, are you okay?
Yeah, everything's going really well. I'm going to be taking a quick little, slight vacation as well, girl. I ain't going, out the country and nothing like that. But y'all, like
Hmm.
you said, we got to take a break sometimes and just, tap out. And so I will be taking a little bit of a hiatus for the next few days, but I did want to come back and do this live today because I already had it planned and stuff like that. And I just wanted to make sure that, these messages are important. And so I wanted to bring that, especially in, with everything that's going on. But let me tell you, everything that's going on, surprisingly to me, there is positivity happening in the YouTube streets. Um, and I know
Sorry, can I just ask, are Mama and JJ okay?
oh yeah, everybody's doing really
And
well.
Carlos?
Carlos is doing great. He just brought me a
Okay.
nice little plate today, child. He be chefing it up. And I was just
Sorry
like,
to
ooh,
cut you. I just wanted to make sure I will give them my love, hugs, and everything. And what's
sure.
going on the YouTube streets? Tell me more.
Oh, girl, it's a lot of positivity going on. I'm just seeing like a shift in the energy and even within the sector, like people are trying to find better understanding with one another. They are forgiving one another, apologizing for things, really just kind of move in a different direction, in a more positive direction. And I've just kind of seen that play out over the past week or whatnot. And it just is confirmation that, prayer really does work. And, the light always does win. And so It's been really nice to see. Sometimes, you got to navigate through it. It ain't going to look pretty the entire time, that you're getting through it. But when you get to the end, right, the resolution, the conclusion, um,
Hmm.
it's been really nice to watch. A lot of people have been making peace. A lot of people have been, basically saying they're tired as well, as far as, like the YouTube drama and the back and forth and all the things. And a lot of people are starting to pivot and try to go a different direction, and not do all the fighting and the fussing and the falling out with one another all the time. And I'm
You
like, I
mean
love it.
you mean to tell me I got to put away my sniper scope? What?
Child, not put away the sniper scope. Girl, child, she done back. She said, "Let me back it up. Let me just pack it up. I don't even need it. Let me just go ahead and just,
Okay,
unleash it.
I'll pack it
Yeah,
away.
I don't even need it no more." But
Mm.
anyway, girl, I didn't want to hold you up too long because I know you have a beautiful itinerary for the rest of the evening on your vacation. And so I wanted you to go first so you can go ahead and just say hello to the peoples and get back to your plans and stuff for all. But I hope you are really enjoying your vacation, your family, having happy times, and just having the moment to just have a breath of fresh air. You know what I mean, and not have to fight and fuss and whatever.
Yeah, they nearly didn't recognize me. They said, "Who is you?"
So I think everybody know who Imani is, but hey,
Yeah. Yeah,
that's another
no, they
story
said,
for
all
another
right
day.
then. Well, listen, you have a lovely time. I will catch up with you anyway, Golden. Love to Mama and JJ and everybody who's here because I can't see the chat at the moment. You have a
Okay,
great
I'm sorry.
lives, and
My
I'll
bad.
be back soon. I will be back soon. Well, I'll be back after the hiatus anyway. So
Yeah.
I'll speak to you guys soon. You take care.
All right, girl.
Bye.
Have a good rest of the evening. Have fun. Bye.
Bye. See you. Bye.
So yeah, y'all, Imani's living her best life, child. She on vacation and she is having a great time. But we talk all the time and whatnot. So I'll talk to her. But yeah, she just wanted to come in to say hello to everyone and show love and appreciation and support for everyone who does come to support us. And enjoys, what we do over here and the content that we make. So shout out to Daisy. Hey Daisy, how you doing? Stars in the building. What's up, Star? Mama Warrior is always in the background. She's always around, child. And if anybody else comes in, welcome, welcome, welcome. You're always welcome in the room. You're welcome to come in anytime you want. We don't bite over here. It's very nice. Um, but yeah, I have seen that there is a shift. There's like some real positive things that are happening in the YouTube streets amongst content creators. Trying to piece things up, trying to make amends, just trying to move forward with a different energy and a different light. Because we can't continue to do the same thing over and over, y'all. When you do that, what do they call that? Insanity. And none of us are insane. We're too intelligent of people to keep staying on the hamster wheel doing the same thing over and over again. And the words from the supporters and the subscribers for me mean a lot. And I hear and I see in the chats that a lot of the supporters and subscribers are also very much or have been getting very much fed up with the beefs, the fights, the chaos all of the time. They just want to come and kick it and have a good time. Maybe listen to something interesting, maybe learn something new, have a few laughs, have a few giggles, and then tap out. But I've seen there's a shift and a change when it comes to that, and it's good to see. So salute to that, y'all. Salute to that. It does take time. It takes time to make change, Star. And forgive or try to forgive the past to move on. Absolutely, Daisy. Absolutely. That's what it's all about. I mean, that's life. Like we have to figure out how to do that. If we don't, we will be sitting in the very same position that we've been in for years. And I don't know. Some people enjoy doing that and that's comfortable for them. And some people say, I want to feel something, experience something a little different. And in order to do so, you got to make a little bit of different decisions. But anyway, y'all, that's it. We consider that our housekeeping and our intro for this live. Y'all know we do that. We only got positive things to say on this housekeeping today. Nothing negative to say. just, I'm really happy to see it. I am. But for the live that I'm doing today, y'all, it's going to be one of those celebrity gossip with purpose lives. And typically in that segment, what we do is, and what I love to do, is listen to interviews. Y'all know I like that. Because when you listen to interviews, you get to know a lot more about the individual that is being interviewed and also the person who is interviewing. So you get to know a lot more about these, celebrities or these people or whatever that we see. And we sometimes may prejudge or have, our mind made up on how we feel about certain individuals and characters. But sometimes if you just take the time to listen to their story, their experiences, and get to know them a little bit better, you'll see that maybe you might have misjudged them or prejudged them and things of that nature. And so I wanted to do some of that on this live today. So we're going to be talking about listening to 3 different interviews. Again, portions, y'all. I'm not going to keep y'all here for the whole things because y'all know they live. But we're going to listen to a portion of all 3. And so the first one we'll be listening to is going to be Charlamagne the God, and he's sitting down. But remind y'all, all of these conversations are being held with Angie Martinez over on the IRL network and her podcast here on YouTube, which I think is excellent. And she does excellent interviews. And so we do have Charlamagne the God, and I'm going to be honest, sometimes Charlamagne be rubbing me the wrong way. Charlamagne the God from the Breakfast Club be rubbing me the wrong way. But after listening to this interview, I was like, okay, let me see. Maybe I can learn a little bit more about him and understand him a little bit more. But he's going to be speaking on truth, accountability, and talking to complicated people. So in his conversation with Angie Martinez on the IRL platform, Charlamagne the God opens up about his personal evolution and the hard choices that transformed his life. He speaks candidly about ending infidelity within his marriage, doing deep work in therapy, and shifting from being a reactionary radio tactics to real accountability. Reflecting on his career from the early days on the Wendy Williams show, because he got started with Wendy Williams, and her Wendy Williams experience to hosting the Breakfast Club now, as he does to this day. Charlamagne discusses media ethics, handling complex human dynamics, and navigating public judgment while staying committed to personal growth. And so that conversation, y'all, was very interesting for me. And one of the other things that I loved about it as well is Charlamagne, of course, is clearly a man, right? And so I like to, listen or whatnot to a lot of conversations when I hear men having healthy conversations, healthy growth, healthy reflection, and responses to things that they are navigating through in life, career, and etc. And so I just want to come and share a little bit of that with y'all together, and then see what y'all think and what y'all may take from it, and if there's anything where we can agree. If it's anything where we disagree, that's very welcome and open over here as well, because we all may not agree on everything all of the time and everything that we hear. And so, it's just about listening and seeing like, this is a good conversation. What are we, or what will we be able to take from it? So without further ado, y'all, let me go ahead and get to it. Like I said, shout out to Angie Martinez over on the IRL podcast and network. Excellent show. If y'all have not checked out her channel, please do. She has really excellent conversations and interviews with a lot of people, some of your favorites. But let's go ahead and get into this, y'all. And y'all know, per usual, I will meet y'all in the chat. We will stop in between for some commentary, and we're going to have some good song breaks. So let's get into it. I'm going to go ahead and press play, and I'll see y'all in a bit.
We're supposed to be shedding all our old bullshit.
Yes,
like all our old bullshit, the bad energy, the negative energy, the things that have caused you guilt, the things that you're insecure about. Like, this is the year that you're supposed to really, really, really let it all go. And it's about new beginnings and transformation. And in 2026 is the year of the horse, and you're supposed to get on that horse and, ride into your destiny.
Sold. Thanks for watching, guys. Today's episode is brought to you by Boost Mobile. Today's guest is the co-host of the infamous Breakfast Club, one of the most influential and longest-running radio shows in hip-hop and pop culture history. He's the founder of the Black Effect Podcast Network, the owner of Black Privilege Publishing, a New York Times bestselling author, an advocate for mental health. He's helped shift culture by telling the truth out loud. He's a father, a husband, a friend. Welcome, Charlamagne, to God.
Angie Martinez in Real Life Podcast. What's happening? Happy to be here. I'll be hearing that sometime and I'm like, who the fuck is she talking about? You know what I'm saying? Like, who is that?
What do you mean?
Like, when I just hear all of that stuff, I'll be like, who is that person?
Stop.
Sometimes I do.
You don't have great pride in what you've accomplished? And
yes, absolutely.
You don't feel like connected to it deeply, like
connected to it deeply.
Yeah,
you know, it's so interesting. When I was home for Thanksgiving and I was staying in my mom's house and I was staying in the room that I grew up in, like that's the moments that like those things hit you because you know you think about, oh, I was in here all of these years praying, you know, to be in these moments like this. So when you are in the midst of your, you know, answered prayers, yes, that's when it hits you.
What were you praying for in that room?
Just to be, you know, it's so funny. I tell this story all the time, but when I first started doing radio, I used to always say, I want to be a super jock. Like, I don't want to be just a local jock doing time and temperature and, you know, whatever
Right.
market. I was like, and I used to always say, if I want to do it on the level of the Tom Joyners, the Angie Martinez's, the Wendy Williams, the Howard Sterns. Like, that was my mindset even back then. So that was like that's literally what I was.
But when you were a kid, you weren't thinking about radio, right? What were you
as a kid, that was. Well, see, I guess when I say the answered prayers, I do think from that time I was like 19 to now. You know what I mean? Because I was just praying to stay out of jail when I was a young kid. You know, hoping that my mom didn't come home and realize that I was you know sitting at home because I was suspended and didn't tell them. Like, that's the type of stuff I was praying for back then.
And then at some point, radio can't happen.
1998.
1998, young Charlamagne on the radio.
1998, that's when I started off as an intern. So I got on the air in like 1999, but I started off as an intern in 1998.
Yo, your evolution is wildly inspiring to people, I think, not just in radio, but just across the board. And even as a father, I mean, as a husband, as a man, you've been very honest in the books and stuff. And it's funny because you come up in the pod a lot. I had Cardi here.
I saw Cardi.
Did you see
Nori,
Cardi?
Yeah.
You saw Nori too?
Yeah,
well, you came up in both those episodes.
Yeah.
That's right. Because Cardi was, you know, went through what she went through. And she had a very strong theory about when you don't treat people well, even a spouse or even a girl you're stringing along, like that karma comes back to you. And then we were talking about your theory about becoming this better husband and how your life flourished after that.
Absolutely. And it's so crazy, right? Like, I've always told these stories and for whatever reason, people act like this was yesterday.
Yeah.
It's like, no, bro, I've been clean for like 9 years out here in these streets, okay? Like,
not new.
No, not at all. But it's like really.
But were you telling the story back then? You weren't telling the story back then. You were telling the story in the past few years, probably, right?
Yeah, probably in the past few years, because I had to make sure I really was what I said I was. You know what I'm saying? Like, when you make that commitment, though, like I always talk about the color purple, and you know when Celie pointed that finger and said, "Ain't no good gonna come to you until you do right by me." That is real. And so what happens when you actually do right by the woman you love? What happens when you actually do right, you know, by your wife? For me, my life has done nothing but go up, 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 up. So I always say to myself, like, why would I ever go backwards? Especially when I continue to see men make those same rookie mistakes, losing everything. Like, you see what just happened to the head coach of the University of Michigan, like 39 years old, married with kids, you know, playing around on the side. And like now his whole shit is fucked up. It's like, why would I make those mistakes when I'm seeing what's happening to other people? And even before that, like I saw what was happening to my pops and my uncles, and my pops would always tell me the worst thing that he ever did was do, you know, wrong by my mother. You know, even though he ended up, you know, getting remarried, but that's a hole that, you know, is in his life that he just regrets, you know, even to this day.
Did you know that at the time, or did you know that after you had changed your life and saw the effect of it? Or did you make that decision with the intention of like, my life will be better if I do right by her?
Both, because like, you know, it's like when you I deal with anxiety, right? So it's just like, why add extra stress to your life that you don't need? And plus you just feel fake. You feel phony. Like you literally laying down with the person you claim to love, this person that you got a whole life with, but you lying to that person.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not one of them people. I don't believe in that whole keep it, real with your homies, but then, lie to the woman that you claim to love. Man, you really made vows in front of God. Like, to me, that's just fake. I can't live my life in that way. I don't like to talk behind people's back. If I said something behind your back, eventually I got to say it to your face.
Mhm.
Or I've already said it to your face, so now I'm talking about you behind your back. Like, I can't live my life like that. So it's just like laying down with a person, like living a whole life with a person, but you're actually living a whole lie with a person. No, that's not the way I want to
Good
move.
for you.
No.
It's funny that you say you waited to say that, because one of the things I always wondered when I would hear you tell that story is, because change doesn't happen in 1 second.
No.
And sometimes behaviors take a little while to kind of break. And I wonder if any of that stuff ever still showed up for you, the temptation, the bad habits,
No, because it's literally like, it's like changing your diet. Like literally like changing your lifestyle. When you start working out and you start eating clean, it's like you don't even really want the junk that you used to eat anymore. Like, and if you even do try to indulge in it a little bit, then you'll probably OD and go crazy. So it's just like, nah, just leave it alone. I don't need it at all in any way, shape, or form.
Really? So no old behaviors, even just feelings, like no old behaviors.
Well, feelings. I mean, meaning like you might see somebody and be like, oh, that person's attractive, but
not even other women. Just like you would have to change a lot about yourself to make that big of a shift in your life, right? And I think a lot of, not all the time, I'm sure sometimes change happens with an idea.
I've always been a cold turkey type of person.
Oh, cold turkey.
Like literally, I've always been a stop. Yeah. There's no, doing a little bit of the wrong thing. I've always been like a stop person. Like just, it's over, it's done, leave it alone. I'm not looking back. And I think that's one of the things I thank God for, that he gave me that type of mind that I can easily just be like, stop, and I'm gone. Yeah, and then it's also a little, I don't know what the word would be, but I'm also like that with people, which I don't know if that's good or not.
Just cut people off.
Oh, in a heartbeat.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? It don't matter how it don't work. It don't matter how long we known each other. I might still have love for you.
Yeah.
But if you're doing anything that's detrimental to me or detrimental to what I got going on, I feel like, you did me wrong in any way. It's like, God bless, I wish you the best, but I'm on to the next.
Wow. What about vices? Never had any vices or anything like that you had to wean off of anything?
You
never like cocaine.
I'm bullshitting. No.
It's like, why have I not heard about this journey? It's a brand new journey. We're discovering the cocaine. No,
people pleasing. I think people pleasing can be a vice.
Okay.
I think people pleasing can be a vice. You know what I mean? Doing things for people just because you don't want them to feel a certain way about you or dislike you. I don't know if that could be considered.
You don't give me
vice.
people pleaser vibes at all.
Oh no, I was a big people pleaser.
When?
That came when I can tell you exactly where it started from. What? Okay, not to get dark, but when I was 8 years old, I used to get molested by a woman that used to be in our family, and when I made her stop, she used to always call me ugly, right? And tell me I got a big nose and all this type of shit, and so I would still let her do it just to
feel like you weren't ugly.
Yes, so she wouldn't call me that, and so that led to me being a people pleaser in my adulthood, which is basically letting people, I don't want to say kind of run over you, but letting them get over on you just because you would rather avoid them having something negative to say about you.
It's not a personality trait I would have imagined, because you seem so free to say what you want, and you're confrontational when needed.
I love confrontation.
Yeah.
Why? I don't know. I think because my dad always told me that the fastest way between 2 points is a straight line, and my dad was a person who he did not like the bullshit, even though he might have been one of the number one bullshitters out there. At least my mom.
Nerve to not like it.
But I always saw him just confront things head on, right? Like even when I used to watch him and like my mom argue and stuff, it was like very direct arguments, right?
Yeah.
And so I just always felt like I would rather just talk to you face to face. I never understood the whole, you got a problem with somebody, but you telling everybody but the person.
Yeah.
Like things don't have to be violent, right? Like you can
get to it.
Just get to it.
Yeah.
I always felt like you could just smooth things over with a conversation. No matter how heated the conversation got. Or even if, when you were young, y'all did have a little kerfuffle and threw a little bit of blows, you would just get back to being friends in moments. That's it.
Yeah.
I always felt like that. So I've never had a problem with the confrontation at all. But to keep the peace a lot of times, it's like, all right, let that person, get their way, even if it's, detrimental to me, but not anymore.
You ever notice how everything keeps going up?
All right, y'all. I hate to pause right there like that, but I'm gonna take a quick little commentary break. So even okay, let's just start from here. So number one, I watch the Breakfast Club. I listen to the Breakfast Club on the radio, right? So I love the Breakfast Club, and Angela Yee is no longer there, but she used to be, one of the third hosts on the Breakfast Club, whatever. I've just watched all of the shifts and the changes on the Breakfast Club. But Charlamagne on the Breakfast Club has not always been my favorite, right? I had a lot of issues and gripes with Charlamagne, for real. And a lot of other people have issues and gripes with Charlamagne. But what I do is, and this is something that I'm doing that's new as I believe I'm maturing, is I try to just like, okay, let me see if I can listen. Let me see if I can get more of a perspective of, this person, why they are the way they are, how they think, the way they think. What type of person is this really? Because a lot of times we just see people on the surface level and the performative levels that they may be in, right? So whether they may be an actor, actress, or content creator, or radio host, or something like that, that's a surface level that you see them in, and that's typically also their job, their career, their workplace. And so when they close those work doors and they go home and they live the rest of their day and the rest of their life out, what type of person are they after that? Because we only sometimes get to see portions and fractions of who someone is based off of what they do and how they present themselves. We take into account, that things, happen and people are not the best of people all the time, and they mistreat people and they make poor decisions and they hurt and harm people and things like that. Maybe not to like super severe level, but like nasty work. Okay. And so, with all of that being said, when I ran across, because I watched Angie Martinez channel all the time, and I'll just listen to all of her interviews from like top to bottom, especially if it's somebody's like, let me hear this person out so I can get some more, context on like this person, especially if it's somebody that I don't like or I pass judgment on. So I'm like, maybe I can hear something different in this conversation, outside of what I've come up to think about them or feel about them for what I've seen on the surface level. But just listening to this, and we're only 10 minutes in right now of this conversation, it seems to be like he has maybe gravitated and has decided and chose to move his life in a healthier direction as a man, as a person. And, we know that he has written some books and things like that. And he speaks very, heavily now about like, mental wealth, mental health wealth, and all of the things. And for me, I'm just like, well, okay, can people change? Can they evolve? Can they grow? Can they make conscientious decisions to be better and do better? Absolutely. I think we all would like to, have people see us as individuals that are capable of that as well, and not always look at us in that one place that we might have been in and say, well, this person ain't never going to be better. They ain't never going to do better. They ain't never going to get better. That's not fair to say for any of us, right? So we have to give each other space. We have to give each other grace to see that maybe that's a choice and a decision that someone may make in their life, to want to turn things around, to want to be different, to want to take accountability for their past, discretions that they've had, and poor choices that they made in the past. Do people get to move forward? Do people get to change? Do people get to become better? And a lot of times when people go on those journeys, what those people realize and they learn is, number one, you don't need the approval of anybody else if that is your choice and your decision to do that in your life, because you're not doing it for others, you're doing it for yourself. You want to be the better version of yourself, and so you make those decisions. And there's going to be people out there that's going to really feel like to the day you die, she ain't never going to change, he ain't never going to change, they always going to be the same. Even when they see the change in you, they can't even receive it because they already have their mind made up about you. And that's not a you problem, that's a them problem. However, moving on. So, with the conversations that he's having so far with Angie, he's talking about, because we know, there's been, and I don't know if you have heard or no, he did, have suffered from, well, not suffer from, but he was very unfaithful to his wife. Okay, he was a cheater. And so he had made a conscientious decision that He did not want to be that way no more. He didn't want to, treat the woman that he said, of his dreams of his life, his wife or whatever that he laid beside and he probably going to be with until the end of time. It wasn't fair for him to still be out here in these streets acting like he's single and being, a Casanova or anything like that. So he wanted to change that up. And he did. He made a conscientious decision to do so. He put into work to do so. And, he fixed that. And then there was other things he had to fix as well, as far as like, behavior patterns, all of those things. But one of the things that he said towards the end, which really resonated with me, is that he's always been a person that's been kind of very much like straightforward. And I know a lot of people will say on this platform, like, and I hear them say, and that's why it makes me giggle, because it's just like they say that I run around in circles and I'm not very direct, but I am very direct in my approach. You understand what I'm saying? Like, I'm very much head on when it comes to issues, right? So if there's someone that got a problem with me or an issue with me, or we having some type of tiff or something like that, I'm a pull up type of person. All right, what's going on? What's the tea? What's the issue? Let's talk about it. Now, when we're talking about it, the thing people have to understand, especially when it comes to this platform, is everybody's looking for that hashtag. Everybody's looking for that gotcha moment. Everybody's looking for that sound bite or that clip. And they want you to say certain things that they can take away and take that and spin a different narrative on what exactly it is that you're saying. So you can be as straightforward with someone as you want to be, but they're going to clip something off from that and they're going to paint it off to be something else. And so since I have been experiencing that so much on this platform, I don't play those games anymore. Like, I'm not going to let you get that sound bite. I'm not going to let you get that clip. I'm not going to let you paint that narrative. I am going to be extremely honest with you and straightforward with you. A lot of the time what the problem is people are not used to that. And it's crazy that they say that I talk in circles, because I don't. I literally talk straightforward. It's just people have to realize in life, they sometimes become unsatisfied if there is something or a conversation being had or a question being asked and they don't get the answer that they want to hear. That becomes a problem, and they try to find a way to squeeze out of you the answer that satisfies them. They don't want to hear the answer that's truthful. They don't want to hear the answer that deads it, because all of these things are supposed to keep going on. It's not supposed to be deaded, but we see that there's a shift and a change where it comes to that on the platform. But I'll just say, in correlation to what he's saying, that is how I was raised. That is how I approach issues. I'm not scared. I will pop up. I'm like, what's up? What's tea? What do you want to talk about? Now, when we talk, don't get upset because you're not getting the answer that you want to hear from me. I'm giving you the answer that you need, which is typically going to be the truth. And so, that is a whole thing that I'm saying. But again, you have to realize we're not living really in real life here on this YouTube platform. This is a lot of fun and games and performativeness. And so, like, if you approach situations like that in the real world and in the streets, it's a very different outcome than when you try to do that on these platforms such as YouTube and things of that nature. So I thought that was very interesting that he said that. But y'all let me know some of y'all thoughts and feelings and opinions on what you heard so far. And Star says each of us are on our separate journey. That's the good thing. We can teach each other. Exactly. Everybody's on a different journey. Everybody has a different story, a different history, a different present, and a different future that's going to come. And I mean, what do you expect from people, right? If we all are different and have different, like, everybody can't be the exact same. Everybody's not going to be on the same exact page or see things the same exact way or approach things the same exact way, because none of us are alike. I mean, we may be similar, but none of us are the exact same. We all are very unique and different. And that is by, again, my personal spiritual opinion, that is by the Creator's plan. We're supposed to be unique individuals. None of us are supposed to be exactly the same. And so, that gets difficult when you have to navigate through a world and their life, and you run into people, and everybody's all different. And it's like, well, how do you connect with this person? How do you connect with that person? They're so different from me. They're so different from me. They talk different from me. They don't understand. Take the time, sit down, have a conversation, hear people out, have empathy, sympathy, and understanding that we all are different and have different experiences and things that we've been through, that we've gone through, that we will go through. Like, it's just the older I'm getting, it's becoming more and more simple to me. It's becoming more and more simple to me the older that I get, the more mature that I get. It's not hard. It's not hard to get to know somebody. It's not hard to have understanding for other people's experiences and things that they've been through. It's not hard. It's too easy to do. But you have to want to do that. That has to be the journey and the path and the choice that you make. And, if there's individuals that don't desire to do that and they move and operate differently, that's also something you have to respect, because that's their choice. But I feel as though we all should be respected for our choices. But anyway, let's get back into some more of the video, y'all. And I'm going to meet y'all back in the chat.
It's not a cold turkey thing, right? You have to actually work on that.
You just got to make sure that the thing you're doing, for somebody else is because you genuinely want to do them. You genuinely want to help, and you're not really losing anything in the process. Like, that's not a even exchange, right? Like, if I do something for you, but then I feel like
depleted.
Exactly. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, that's not an even exchange of energy. Like, I'm going to pour into you, you're going to pour back into me in some way, shape, or form. And I don't even mean like, I might provide you an opportunity. I just like being around good people.
Yeah.
Like, you just like being around good energy. Sometimes that person that makes you laugh, or that person, you can have a healthy debate with, that person that makes you smile for no reason, that person you like to talk to on the phone for no reason. To me, those are even exchanges of energy. But if I do, something for you because you want it done, and I feel empty after the fact, and you going on about your day, that's not a fair exchange at all.
That is people pleasing.
That is 100% people pleasing.
Got it.
And I learned that in therapy, by the way.
I love that. I want to learn all about all the things you learned in therapy today. I want you to teach us all the things today, Charlamagne. It's so funny because I never thought of myself, from New York and from the culture. I'm like, I never thought of myself as a people pleaser until recently this big age. I'm actually confronting that fully.
What made you realize that?
Feeling depleted by certain situations, and just testing the waters of like, do I want to do that? I don't, so I'm not gonna. And then consciously checking myself to not feel bad about it. Mm-hmm. But it's like that's why I say I'm always curious about people's process, because sometimes change doesn't happen cold turkey like that. I'm not going to cheat on my wife anymore, and then you don't forever. Mm-hmm. Sometimes habits, the things that shape us, it takes a little while to kind of like unravel that.
Well, that's why you don't practice bad habits. And I think that, one thing I've learned, the older I've gotten, I've definitely probably done more unlearning than learning. Like, that's the crazy thing about like when you first start going to therapy. Like, when I first started going to therapy in 2016, by 2018, I probably was the most confused I had ever been in my life.
Too much information?
Not even too much information. It's everything I thought I knew. I realized I didn't know, right? As much as I thought I did. And I realized that a lot of the things that I was using for survival weren't going to allow me to get to that next level of life that I wanted to get to, whether personally, professionally, whatever it was. I knew I had to let so many things go. And that's a scary process too, right? Because I think a lot of times people hold on to a lot of those habits because it's literally what they got in their toolbox. Those are the safe, comfortable things that they can go to and always use when they, are just going through life. But when you realize like that stuff in that toolbox, man, those keys not going to unlock these new doors I'm trying to get to. That's a scary place to be at, especially when you how old was I? 36, 37 years old?
That's when you started doing therapy?
Yeah, I started going to therapy in 2016. Yep. So I was like 37, 38. Because I remember when I turned 40, I bawled. Like, just crying like a baby. I was drunk too, but I was just crying like a I was crying like a baby when I turned 40. And it felt like a release. Like I literally remember that night. It was like I was in Anguilla, like my favorite island, and I was just my wife had made this. She had got this video made for me, and it was like all my friends, like, you know, wishing me a happy birthday, and I just cried like.
What was it though? What was happening?
I don't know. It's like sometimes when you turn certain ages, like if you really are doing this life thing correctly, you can feel those new dimensions open up. You can feel those new portals of life open up. And, you know, 2016, October of 2016 is when I was like, yo, I'm not cheating on my wife anymore. I'm going to, you know, really do the righteous thing. I'm going to start going to therapy, doing the work on myself. And so 2018, I was like maybe a year and a half, 2 years into that, right? And it kind of just hit me like, yeah, I'm not that person anymore. Like it was like one of those things where God was showing me, if you really want to, you know, be what I have destined you to be, keep doing what you're doing. And it kind of just hit me, like just watching everybody wish me happy born day.
Probably
gratitude, tears of joy,
all that.
Yeah, all of it. And it really just felt like a release. And I was like, you know what? I'm 40 now. I'm gonna act like it.
I love that.
I'm a grown ass man.
Do you have any, like, I don't know, it feels like the before or after, right, of Charlamagne? Before that moment in time, and then after, kind of is like two different people. Do you ever look back at things you did back then with guilt or remorse or?
Not guilt or remorse. I think you do cringe sometimes, you know what I mean? Because like everything we do has been documented, you know, especially in this on-air business, right? But so sometimes you do look at things and you cringe, but it's only because like my kids, I got a 17-year-old, a 10-year-old, a 7-year-old, 4-year-old, and they asking questions, you know?
Well, of course.
So it's like sometimes, but you know, I've learned to accept every version of myself. Every single version of myself was the version that I needed to be in that moment.
Has there been any apologizing or any no need to, like, I don't know.
Oh, all the time.
I don't know why the thing that comes up when I ask you that question, when we talk about on air, at first I was talking about in your personal life, your wife and stuff, but like even on air, when you see that clip of like little mama crying in the chair, like, does that do something to you, or do you not? Or a moment like that, where maybe you hurt somebody's feelings, or maybe you emotionally said something that.
Like, see, here's the thing about the little mama situation. No, seriously. Here's the thing about because that always comes. People act like that was yesterday. Like, look at my face. Look how good my skin looks now. My skin was terrible back then.
When I think about the highlight reel, right, of moments of like shocking Charlamagne moments. You know, it's Birdman, it's Little Mama.
Yes, but even Little Mama says she wasn't crying at me. She was crying because we brought up, well, her mother who had passed away, God bless the dead, had came up. So in that moment, that's what brought the tears on. She said that herself.
Bad rap.
But also the night before, when they asked Little Mama to come on, he was like it was like, you know, Charlamagne got jokes. And Little Mama was like, I'm from Harlem, I got jokes too. So I thought we was gonna have a nice little back and forth, which we did. If you go back and watch it in full, she was throwing some jokes. Mine was just a little better at the time. That's all. That's all it was. But nothing but much respect for Little Mama. You know, Little Mama's dad ran down on him because of that shit.
No,
because you know I don't be outside, so he ran down. He caught Envy with the hammer and everything. Like,
no,
yeah. Envy told that story before.
I vaguely remember that. Now. I forgot about that part.
Yeah.
Yikes.
So you definitely don't want to cause those kind of issues or those kind of problems. You know what I'm saying? But
but is there been other? You don't even have to say what they are. But have there been moments where you're like,
oh, absolutely. Especially, I should call. 100%. Especially when I used to work with Wendy. And Wendy was the one, because with Wendy, I was.
All right, y'all. So before we get into the Wendy segment, one of the things that I took away from this segment right here, that I thought was, you know, very important, and I don't know if y'all heard or seen it too, is, you know, there had been a lot of speculation and talks around certain interviews and things or whatnot, you know, with Charlamagne on the Breakfast Club. And, you know, once the media get a hold of stuff, they can paint the narrative and the story however they want. We see that being on here on YouTube, right? How that works. We now get a better understanding of what, you know, and not to say any of us are celebrities or nothing like that, but, or at least I'm not saying I'm a celebrity, but now we see what, you know, a lot of celebrities and whatnot go through when it comes to that, like how one thing could happen from beginning to end, but by the time the story and the headlines is posted, what is being told and presented to the audience and the public it doesn't give the full truth of what happened. Sometimes it's not true at all. Like none of it is real. But what he said in that moment, as far as the interview with, Lil Mama, and what he also said that was important is that she admitted that herself. Like during that interview or whatnot, it seemed to be that, he was roasting her or going hard at her and made her cry. When I say context is very important, context is important. So, what he said was in that interview, there were some talks or questions that came up about one of her parents that had passed. And that's something that was still very tender for her. So, that's what got her into the crying. And then, like he said, prior to her coming there, he was like, you know, I'm going to roast you, right? Like, I'm going to get you. That's what he does, okay? And if he had that conversation with her prior, she's like, yeah, I'm from Harlem, I'm gonna roast you too. Like, I'm good, I got this. And then one just roasts better than the other. That's context. That's context that a lot of people don't often get to see, right? Or know about. You just see what it looks like after it's produced and it's chopped and it's clipped and it's posted. So it's like the context behind how things can go from point A to point B, I think is very important, especially when you're doing things when it comes to production. So you know how that works, right? Like oh, certain things can get clipped out, certain things may need to be clipped out, certain things people want to clip out because they don't like how that's said or how they're sounded and things like that. And we're talking about bigger levels now. This is a radio show, but they also do visual as well, video radio show now. So yeah, things can get chopped and screwed, and the entire conversation and the entire context of how the entire engagement went may not come out to the public. What comes out to the public is what they decide is the final cut that they're going to give to the public. And I just feel like as individuals who, like, especially if we're now engaging in these things, especially for content creators, and then if you're create or you choose to create content or whatever, and put things together and stuff like that, I think it also is very helpful for your supporters and stuff as well, and your subscribers and stuff as well, for you to be very open and honest when it comes to that, because a lot of times that leaves them in the limbo zone because they love everybody that they support, right? And they cannot figure out, like, how did it go this way? Like, how did it go from everybody was cool in the gang and now all of a sudden this is the narrative? I thought y'all was cool, I thought y'all was peoples and stuff like that. I think maybe we can owe a little bit of understanding for one another when it comes to creating the content. And I think we can owe a little bit more of information to give to people who support the content and let them know that sometimes, it's just that's how this thing is set up. You know what I mean? It's just, I don't know who decided to set it up that way, but that's how this thing is set up. Sometimes there's not enough context. Sometimes there's not enough truth about what's really going on and how things is really, playing out. And it causes a lot of friction and confusion between my bad, y'all. Can y'all hear me now? My daggone mic went out again. Don't worry, I'll order me another mic, y'all, because I ain't gonna keep playing these games with this mic. Because this been happening for the past few days and it's getting on my nerves. It be going in and out. But I hope y'all can hear me now. But so yeah, I just feel like all of that is just, that's maybe something we can look at and do better as well. And we have these are professionals. He's been working on a radio show and a radio station for a very long time. So we know about editing. He knows about clips. He knows about headlines and narratives and stuff that can get spent, and the purposes for that shock value. You know what I mean? Like, you put this headline out, ooh, that shock value is gonna get everybody to come in and see what happened and listen. But the people involved, the real human beings that's involved, it's like you have to take account to how do those shock values and headlines, really land when it comes to individuals, real people who was actually involved in the situation? You got somebody's made look out to be like they're a bully and they was bullying somebody. You got somebody made to be looked out like they are the victim when they were not victimized, and they come out themselves and say, I was not victimized in that situation. It's just the way that it all was spinned up and tied up with a big, beautiful bow on it. It made it look like that in the media space after they pushed it out there. But that's not how it went down. And there's more context that people need to be to understand those things, I think, in my personal opinion. But let's keep going. So yeah, if y'all did not know, Charlamagne at a very young age started out working with Wendy Williams. That's how he got his first start. And so he's going to dive into a little bit of that experience and that story as well. So we'll get into that. And y'all, we're going to be reaching about the 20. We'll go to about the 30-minute mark, I believe, when it comes to this. And then we will slice this one down and we'll move on to our second topic, an interview also with Angie Martinez with Tabitha Brown, which is one of my faves. I love me some Tabitha Brown, y'all. But she has some really great words of wisdom and positivity to spread and share. And so we will listen to some portions of that interview next, y'all. But let's play a little bit of this, and I'll meet y'all in the chat.
Really compromising myself for a position. Like I was really the pit bull. Like purposely, that was my job. And she would be like, get them. I want you to get that person. You know what I mean?
She wasn't enough. She wasn't doing enough.
Well, she was trying to make the transition.
Oh,
that's what she was trying to make the transition to television.
Oh, she was trying to do good cop, bad cop.
Absolutely. And it was just, it would be sometimes where like my conscience would be like, why? Like, and the one I always remember is Kelly Rowland. Like she was like, get her. And I'm like, Kelly Rowland? Like, why? Like, what did Kelly Rowland do?
What did you do?
I think I came up with this angle. Like we both know how it feels to be sidekicks. So I'm a sidekick to Whitney. She's a sidekick to Beyonce. This straight, stupid, disrespectful shit for no reason. And I remember when Kelly wanted to do Breakfast Club, Lala hit me like, yo, Kelly wants to do Breakfast Club, but she was like, when she met you with Wendy, it was some bullshit, basically. So immediately, I apologized to her before she even walked in the studio and when we got on air. And I wrote about that story in my book because I always tell people, don't compromise yourself for a position. Like, what the hell was I attacking Kelly Rowland for? Like, just because
she's like the nicest.
Don't bother no.
She's like
body.
She's just like the purest little soul.
You see what I'm saying?
The universe,
and I still don't even know what the issue was.
Was she gracious to your apology?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I love Kelly. Me and Kelly, like, we super locked in now.
Yeah, she's amazing.
Her, Tim, all of them, like we super locked in.
Yeah, I love that. Okay, guys, holiday season is upon us. I mean, it is right. Roland. I forgot you did tell that story. You've told every story.
Well, I try to be and just tell people because I want people to learn from my mistakes. I want this next generation to know they don't have to do that. Like I'm watching this whole new wave of whatever. I don't know if you call them shock jocks, and they're ridiculous. I'm like, was we like that? Was I like that?
I saw a clip today of somebody. I don't know who they were. They were like a new, I don't know, blogger interviewing somebody. It was just gross. And I just was like, I feel bad for them. It's almost like I feel bad for them, but I also feel gross about, I don't know.
I feel bad for them because I know how hurt they really are on the inside. Because you have to be a really hurt person to talk about certain individuals the way that you talk about them. Like, it's one thing to have an opinion, have some critique, but these people be like really vicious, evil, nasty. And I tell them, like the other story I tell them is like, sitting with Wendy earlier this year. And Wendy literally said to us at the table, I think I'm in the position I'm in because of how I used to talk about people. And I was glad that Lauren LaRosa was with me at the time to hear that.
I know when you said that to me, you told me this and I couldn't believe that she said that.
She absolutely said that. And I was like, what do you mean? Like karma? And she was like, well, God. I ain't never heard Wendy mention God ever in my life.
Does she know that you've shared this story?
I don't know. Oh. But I have no idea.
Have you not spoken to Wendy?
I haven't spoken. She called me on my birthday over the summer, but I haven't spoken to her since.
Because you guys were talking pretty frequently, I thought. Yeah.
Yep, she called me over on my birthday, but I haven't spoken to her since then.
Do you believe some of that? Like about the karma, about like, I don't know. Yeah.
Absolutely. I don't know. The thing about karma's funny, right? Because I've seen some really bad things happen to people that I thought was really good people. And I still believe that they're good people. So I don't believe in karma like
only bad things happen to bad people.
Yeah, or I do something and then you get that, type of equal or opposite reaction back. I don't believe in it in that way, but I do believe you can curate the energy around you. And I think sometimes, if you put out a lot of negative energy, a lot of bad energy, I think that you can find yourself wallowing in that and not even realizing it.
How do you feel about forgiveness for that type of stuff? Like you said, you cut people off fast, right?
Mm-hmm.
But like even in that moment, even the moment with Wendy and her saying, get him, and you having to apologize to Kelly and just learning from that.
Mm-hmm.
And she forgave you, right? Clearly.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Do you forgive yourself or do you forgive other people or do you just kind of cut people out? Like I would even imagine with Wendy, there had to be some type of, I don't know.
It is, but the thing with Wendy is like earlier this year, we were helping her, right? Because she was in a bad situation. But then, you see some things that remind you of that old energy. And you're like, I don't really want that in my life. Love her. Wish her the best. Glad we was able to, connect her with certain people. But then when you see even how she might have treated to certain people you connected her with, so it's just like, let me, I wish her the best.
Yeah.
Want the best for her. But that was a season in my life. And I always say people come into your life for, reasons, seasons, and, sometimes lifetimes. Those lifetime ones are very rare.
Yeah.
But, you appreciate the seasons and you move on to the next one.
And it was influential to you. Like it helped you a lot, right? Like
man, I probably wouldn't be in the position I'm in now if it wasn't for that. And I don't even like to have those type of hypothetical conversations because the reality is I'm in the position I am because that was part of my journey. I was coming from South Carolina. I was in Columbia at the time. I think Columbia's market number 93.
Jesus.
To go from market number 93 to market number 1 being Wendy Williams' co-host, like who gets that kind of look? Like that's some stuff you see in a movie, or you watch on a TV show and be like, yo, that's damn near impossible.
You would have probably done anything she told you to do, right? well, now
I was like, yo, I did do damn near anything she told me to do. Like, yeah.
All right, y'all. So we're going to end this conversation right at this point so we can get into our next one, y'all, with Tabitha Brown. And that one is going to be getting into more of, the spiritual side, the enlightening side and things of that nature. I don't know if y'all are familiar with Tabitha Brown, but she's a really beautiful soul. And I'm telling you, she lights up a room. Her spirit is just so beautiful. But some of my final things that I want to say about this end segment of their conversation. If we all are honest with ourselves, right, especially being within this platform and maybe on jobs and places where, we tried to work and get an opportunity as well. And we knew like this was a great opportunity to get. Sometimes what comes with those opportunities are choices that you have to make. And those are choices that you're going to have to answer to at some point in time. But in that moment, you're not thinking about that. You're just thinking about doing whatever you got to do for that opportunity, for that bag, for that cash, for that position. But you question yourself. Just like Charlamagne said, he was questioning himself when he was given an assignment to like attack Kelly Rowland or go after Kelly Rowland because he was sitting beside Wendy Williams. And he didn't understand, like, for what? Like, for what reason? Like, what has she done? She's a sweet person. Why are we going after her? And I think that as we pay attention to a lot of things that happen even within this platform, we see that same thing playing out, right? And we can't be sure who's the people and what space and where they are. We can try to do our Carmen Sandiego and put the pieces together, but we clearly see that same type of energy playing out on this platform. Like, to sit with a certain content creator that may be bigger, have more subscribers, or may be willing to pay, then, they can tell you like to go out and do that bidding or do something or go against somebody. And in your soul and in your spirit, you're like, for what? Like, why am I doing that? What did that person ever do to us? What did that person ever do to me? But as he said, he was young. It was an awesome opportunity. And he just did what he had to do, and he said if it wasn't for making those choices and that opportunity he was given, He may not be where he is today. But what he also said is, as he got older and more mature and really, understood the error of his ways, he did go back to have conversations with certain individuals and apologize, right? Take accountability. And then moving forward, he decided that he didn't want to kind of do that type of stuff no more, like, and move that way anymore. Now, can we be sure? I don't live with this man all day, every day. I don't know how he move and operate. But what I'm taking is from what he's telling when it comes to this story and trying to get the moral out of this story. And so I thought it was very interesting to listen to, because when you're young and you're green and maybe, you're really eager or whatnot for an opportunity, a position, to be seen, whatever it may be. Sometimes you could find yourself in spaces where you're making decisions and just doing things just for the sake of doing it because somebody told you to. But you're not really understanding why. You don't even think what you're doing is right, but you just do it, right? And so I think reflection, as you become older and more mature when it comes to that, is very necessary. And when you can see the error in your ways when you move and operate that way, I think that's how true growth and change comes, because can it get you an opportunity? Yeah, most likely it probably will. Can it get you some money? Yeah, most likely it probably will. But when you start to reflect on how you feel about the things that you said, the things that you did, who you hurt, you know what I'm saying? He said that he basically felt like he was Wendy Williams' pit bull. Like, she would say sick 'em and he would go and sick 'em for the opportunity, so he could have that opportunity to work with her and build his career and get further or whatnot in his career. He did what she told him to do, even though in his heart he was like, I don't get it. I don't understand why I'm doing it. Why I'm attacking this person? Why I'm biting this person? It's not making sense to me. But you do it anyway, for the opportunity, for the growth, for the progression, all of the things, right? And there's some people who can do that and immediately feel like, nah, this ain't right, and stop immediately because like they can't do it. And they like, that's okay. I don't need the opportunity that bad. Like, I'm good. Another opportunity will come along. Then there's some people that's like, this is a once in a lifetime shot. So I just got to do whatever I got to do to keep it, to have it, to hold it, to mold it, to make it, all of the things. I don't judge either person in no way for the choices that they make when it comes to it. Because I understand we all got to make our own choices for all different reasons. Some people got babies to feed at home. I know people got rent and bills to pay. And, everybody is different. And so, I get it. I understand the reason why those type of decisions are made and stuff like that. And then you see stories like his, where it's like, you grow and you mature and you live a little bit more life and you reflect and you get help and you become better and you want to be a better person. And you look back on some of the choices you made, you're like, dang, I shouldn't have done. I wish I didn't do that. But then again, I don't wish that I didn't do that, because I probably wouldn't be here where I'm at now if I didn't do it. So that can become, a real conundrum for people, and I get that. I absolutely get that, and I understand it. I know people need what they need. I know people will make the choices and decisions that they need to make based off of, number one, necessity, right? Like, they need something. And so they find themselves, doing things is like, they like, I really don't want to do this, but I just feel like I don't have no other choice. Like, I have to do it because I need some money. I need to put my babies through school. You know what I'm saying? I need it. Whatever. I understand that. So I don't pass judgment to people, when those things, and it's clear that that's maybe could be the reason why people do the things that they do. I don't pass no judgment. I get it. I understand it. But, as far as when it comes to me, a lot of people think I'm foolish because they feel like I could make certain decisions that would thrust me ahead when it comes to certain things in my life, my career, this YouTube platform, whatever, which is only temporary, honestly. Because once my son go to school, I'm going back to the work field. So I'm not going to be a content creator forever. I'm going back to work. Like, that's what I love. I love working and helping people in the medical field. And so this was something I was trying to see. I can make something shake while I can stay at home with my young son and teach him and raise him, you know, in his early years or whatnot. So when he goes to school, he's advanced and he can read and he can talk and he can come back and, you know, have a conversation with me as far as these daycares and these schools and stuff, y'all. You know, they be cutting up and they be a mess. So that was always my intention when I had my child. Like, I need to make sure he is prepared before I push him out the door or put him in some type of daycare. I'll do it. And if I can find a way to make some means or whatnot while doing that process with him at the same time from home, excellent. You know, that was the goal. But child, they never let me get a dime. They never let me get a dime. But it's okay because God provides. God's always going to provide. So that's why I can keep a smile on my face and a laughter in my chest, because God is good. I know God is good. You can see me through a lot of other things, me and my family, my mother. And he been with us the whole time and we've been rocking. And it's been all right. So making money on the platform or not making on the money, now I just do it for, you know, a hobby. That's literally all it is running as a hobby. I don't make no money off of this. But I enjoy to do it, and y'all know I like to talk. And I like to meet people. And, you know, I like to have deep conversations and things like that. So, anyway, moving on, y'all. Let's take this quick song break. And after this song break, y'all, we're going to get into our next video. Like I told y'all, it's another interview with Angie Martinez, a lovely interviewer. Y'all must check out her platform if you're not already. And she will be sitting down with the lovely Tabitha Brown. And we're going to tap into a few things that she has to say when it comes to the prayer that changed everything in her life. And so we'll get into that in just a moment, y'all. Rock with me through this quick song break, and we'll be right back.
That got people forgetting the folks of you. That part. Every laugh ain't harmless. Every post ain't just jokes. Some people smiling online, crying in real life. Enough is enough. Enough is enough. Why you tearing people down for fun? Why? You don't know what they carry when the camera done. Broken souls throw stones, then hide they hands. Cowards in comment sections playing God again. Karma don't miss. And healing still possible too. So either spread love or watch life humble you. Yeah. YouTube streets messy, everybody got a target. Creators throwing dirt like hate became a market. Mocking people daily, that spirit look haunted. Tell me who raised y'all, this behavior garbage. Laughing at depression, exposing folks' trauma. Then act shocked when tragedy follow behind you. The evil energy, boomerang proper. Come on, pull up silent like a midnight robber. And honestly, do you watch my live? I talk truth, pain, growth, tears, real vibes. Not everybody built for the games online. Some folks want insult from losing their mind. That's fake, no cap. Y'all addicted to humiliation. Every live stream feel like public execution. Views over souls, cloud over humans. Then wonder why the whole world mentally ruined. Somebody mama crying at night. Somebody daughter hurt inside. Somebody praying not to give up while bullets screenshot painful life. Shame on you, shame. You need healing too. Only damaged people wake up daily, trying to damage others too. Enough is enough. Why you tearing people down for fun? Tearing them down. You don't know what they fighting when the live stream done. Baby, no. Keyboard killers acting tough online. Whole time spiritually broken inside. Karma don't miss, no. Karma don't skip souls either. Every hateful seed gon' meet the reaper. So to the hurting bully people, listen close. You matter more than these demons online. These chicks bitter, these dudes weird. Obsessed every day like like, why you still here? Refreshing my page while pretending you don't care. Whole personality built off hate and fear. Talk slick online, real life timid. Broken inside, everybody can't feel it. Projecting they wounds while the comments all cheering. That ain't straight, baby, that sickness concealed. And I said what I said. Yeah, some of these creators need therapy bad. Not another live stream drag. Not another fake outrage cash grab. Y'all bully for a living. That's sad. Spirit look bankrupt, dusty and mad. And the people encouraging it just is trash. Laugh now. Karma got a long memory pad. Lord, cover the wounded. Cover the lonely heart. Cover the lonely heart. Cover the people crying silently in dark rooms. Teach us compassion again. Teach this world mercy again. Because words cut deep. So deep. And some people never recover. To everybody bullied online, you are not weak because you hurt. You are not crazy because you feel pain. And don't let these empty souls convince you your life got no value. The loudest bullies usually fighting demons they never healed from. That ain't an excuse, but it's the truth. And to the bullies, get help, seriously. This obsession will tear his strangers apart every day. That ain't normal. Enough is enough. We need love more than ever now. More than ever. Too many souls out here barely hanging on somehow. No more glorifying painful views. No more clowning her forever nude. No more mama text for entertainment. That darkness got consequences too. Karma don't miss. Karma don't miss. And healing still possible too. So either spread love or watch life humble you. Enough is enough. Spread love before it's too late. Yeah, before it's too late.
All right, y'all. So thanks for rocking with me with that quick little song right there. Let's go ahead and get into our next topic, y'all. And like I said, we'll be hearing and you see beautiful, beautiful Tabitha Brown here on the screen. And she will be talking about the prayer that changed everything. So Tabitha Brown shares the pivotal moment during a severe illness where a single prayer transformed her life path. She discussed how choosing authenticity, divine alignment, and positive open doors she could never have engineered herself, leading to a viral content, acting roles, books, and major media projects. Tabitha also shares insight on her 22-year-old marriage, raising a family and navigating the difficult boundaries of saying yes to yourself, even when it means saying no to others. Y'all, let's remember, real growth demands radical self-honesty. You cannot step into your destiny while holding on to old habits that keep you small. Transformation happens the moment you stop running from your past, take ownership of your mistakes, and do the quiet inner work required to become whole again. Let's go ahead and get into this video real quick, y'all. And per usual, y'all know I'll meet y'all in the chat. Y'all let me know what y'all think about this conversation. Let's get into it.
I do believe my daughter is gifted as well. She dreams. Sometimes we co-dream. We've done that over the years.
Wow.
Be in the same dream. It's the most craziest thing. We don't know it while we're in it, but when we wake up and we're like, did you? And we can finish the sentence. It was like we were in the same dream. And like we both can know when somebody's pregnant, right? We'll dream. Like one of my friends, she sent me a text and she was like, Mommy, I think Jontil might be pregnant. She was like, and I think it's a girl. And so I text a screenshot of it to my girlfriend, Jontil. And she texted me back the picture of the pregnancy test and a video where they were just going to tell their family that they're pregnant with a little girl.
Oh.
And so she calls that her baby. And then when I text her back, I said, I told you got mommy's gift. She sends like the crying emojis. No, I don't want it. I
This episode is brought to you by Boost Mobile. I have so many things to talk to Tabitha about today. Today's guest is proof that obedience and authenticity can change your whole life. Born in North Carolina, she moved to LA twice. She came back with faith and a new plan and a simple vegan sandwich to review in 2017 that turned into this global calling. Today, she's like America's auntie, Emmy-winning host of Tab Time, author of Feeding the Soul, Cooking from the Spirit, and I Did a New Thing, and founder of Donna's Recipe. She's a mother, a wife, and now a star of the new holiday film, Unexpected Christmas. She cooks, she acts, she motivates, she heals. She is Tabitha Brown, and she is our guest in real life today.
Thank you.
And she is also like, your energy is just, I don't know. It's
Well, I
next,
hope it's very good.
it's next level good. No, it's next
Thank
level
you.
good. Like
Thank
you can't
you.
walk into a room and people don't just be happy to see you, right?
Listen, I be shifting the atmosphere.
You really do.
We all have the ability to do that.
Do you do that intentionally, or is it just a gift that was given to you? Even when you
Both.
walked in here, it was like, oh, and we
Yeah.
hadn't met, but I just wanted to give you a
Yeah.
big hug.
We all have the ability to shift the atmosphere in the whatever space we occupy. Because I could have came in and been like, "Hey, how y'all doing?"
Oh my God.
And it would have changed the whole atmosphere.
For sure.
But I come in with joy and love, and I'm excited.
Where does that come from, Tabitha? Where's
You know what?
I know where it comes from,
Right.
but I mean, when did you learn that? When did it hit you?
I think it's really been my whole life. Like my family would tell you, my husband always like, my wife is just a joyful spirit, and I'd be happy.
It's real.
It is. I've also been in very dark places, and it's no fun.
No.
And so I remember the last time I was in a dark place, my prayer was, God, if you get me out of this, I will always choose light. And so that's what I do. Every day is light.
So you choose it. It's
I
a
choose
choice.
it. It's a choice. Absolutely.
Because I think probably some people, I think obviously that's why people resonate to you. You bring this joy, this light. It's the light, right?
Yeah,
it's
it's
like
the light.
People
Yeah.
want to feel. People want to feel that.
Nobody likes the dark.
No,
Mm-mm.
but I think sometimes people don't know how to get out of it.
Yeah, sometimes we can get stuck, but also sometimes the dark has purpose, right? You have to be there for a while so you know that you don't like it.
Oh, that's really good. Why are you giving me a word and you just got here, Tabitha? You just sat in my chair.
That's the truth, Bruce.
Don't
honey.
come give me a word as soon as you sit in the chair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sometimes you got to go through it. So you realize, you know what? I don't want to go back there.
Yeah, because if you go through it too fast,
Mhm.
the lesson is
don't
not
catch
learned.
it. Yeah.
You don't catch it.
That's why that stuckness sometimes take a while.
Oh,
Mhm.
that is a good one for today. All
Yeah.
right, thanks. That was a great interview. Thanks. No, I'm just,
I think I will come in. Okay, God bless you. Good night.
No, we got a lot to get to today. First of all, what a lovely way to live your life, but also to create a business and a career around that.
Yeah,
Right?
just being myself. I
Being-
never could have imagined.
Really?
I never could have imagined. No, I always just dreamt that I was going to be a famous actress. Like that was my whole thing as a kid. I just wanted to grow up and be this famous leading lady. But I did not think that I would grow up and become free and become successful for being myself.
Become free?
Mm-hmm.
What do you mean?
Yeah, because so the first probably 20 years of pursuing my career and pursuing acting and entertainment, I wasn't free. I was conforming, code switching, trying to fit in, trying to dress how I thought I was supposed to dress, wear my hair one way, talk one way. And that's not freedom. I was trying to live to please and fit in.
Why did you learn to do that? Or-
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You know, I'm from the South, right? So you learn it early without even knowing. I learned to code switch, watch my mama like pay bills or go to the bank or talk to white people. I'm like, oh, that's how we have to talk to them. Okay. So when I would even code switch in school to my teachers because I saw my mama do it. So this is how we are accepted. It was just a natural thing. And then like starting to have a job and do all the things like I did it in corporate America before I, did acting. Then I started taking acting classes. And I remember when I first moved to LA, I had a casting director. I did a workshop and they were like, nobody wants to hear that accent. You'll get stuck in one character. You got to learn to mask it. So I was already masking it in corporate America. So then I started trying harder to mask it even more to the point where I lost who is Tab. And I started to believe this version of myself I created. And I also feel like that's why I got sick, because I was suffocating the true me. And once I said, okay, Lord, no more. I'm going to just be who you created me to be. I'm going to take these layers off and I'm going to be obedient. And every day I'm gonna just show up and try to be myself. The same me that my daddy know, the same me that my sister know, and my husband and my children know behind closed doors. That's what I'm gonna be for the world.
But does this happen, that shift? That's a big shift.
It's a big shift.
Does it happen in one day? Does it happen in one moment?
No, the realization happens in a moment, right?
And what
so
is
it's
that
like
moment?
It's like a wake-up call. Like, it was in prayer for me, right? So it was my prayer was, when I was sick, God, if you heal me, you can have me. Because I really thought I was going to die. I never thought I would see 40. And in that moment that I meant that prayer.
You have the autoimmune disease.
It was something autoimmune that they never diagnosed, right? Which is why I went vegan. And so.
But you were like feeling bad.
A year and 7 months, I had a headache in the back of my head, debilitating. So I lost my vision for a day. I would fall when I would walk. Like, I had chronic pain, chronic fatigue throughout my body. I would sleep all the time, then wake up, still be tired. But my head would hurt nonstop. Like, some days would be better than others, but I was on disability for a year. Like, I couldn't even go to work. So then it turned into like manic panic attacks. And, you know, I could be having this conversation with you, and then all of a sudden I'd be like, I just couldn't breathe.
Wow.
And so that was like the darkest time of my life. And I thought God had forgotten about me. And what I realized is I had forgotten about him in a way where it wasn't even that I had really forgotten about him. I didn't really know him. I knew what I was taught. But this was the season where he said, I got to take you to the darkest place so that you can really see who I am and really accept me. And so when I did, my whole life changed. Like, in that moment in my bathroom, when I prayed that prayer, I wasn't healed in that moment, but I felt a shift in my body. Something felt different. And then from that day, I just continued to just take the layers off every day. And I was very afraid, right? Because I didn't even used to do content. I was an actress, and I worked the 9 to 5. I was doing stand-up. I was doing everything I could to try to like make it. And 2 weeks after I prayed that prayer, I had a dream, and I saw myself on a TV show, and the screen was very small, and I had like no hair, but I was completely like myself. And I've had dreams ever since I was a child. It's a gift that I have that they come to pass. And so I woke up and I prayed, Lord, reveal that to me. What was this dream that I had on the show? Because at this time, I'm not auditioning. I'm not doing stand-up. I'm not doing anything that could get me a show. And I heard a voice that said, start doing videos. And I was like, start doing videos. Why would I do a video? Like, I'm hearing things. Now I'm tripping. The voice again was like, start doing videos. And I was like, well, Lord, I'm an actress. I don't do videos. He was like, remember 2 weeks ago in that bathroom, you said, if I heal you, I could have you. And I was like, I did say that, Lord. Well, I guess here goes obedience, right? And that is the only reason that I started to do videos. And as I started, I realized in the very beginning, if you could find like my very old videos on Facebook, I still was very scared. I was still trying to talk a little bit proper, a little bit like, okay, I want to be accepted. I'm going to tell my stories and things, you know, because I would just be a sit down comedian on my bed because I still was not well. But as the days went on, I just kept pulling it back, more comfortable, more free. And then over the years, it just said,
your way.
Honey, here she is.
You ever notice how everything keeps going up? I mean, rent is going up, streaming services are going up, even like your favorite burrito place all of a sudden wants to charge you for salsa.
All right, y'all, we take a quick commentary break. Not Angie talk about your favorite burrito place. It just start going up. Child, yeah, for real. The food is going up. That's for sure. But yeah, that's her her promotional ads and stuff. But anyway, so getting back to Tabitha Brown and what we have heard in this segment so far, how powerful. And you know, just listening to what she was saying literally was bringing me chills. Because again, respectfully to anyone listening, and y'all already know, you know, my background and my mama's background is very much, you know, like spiritual. It started off religious and very much in the church, the Baptist church and things like that. And then now we're just kind of more so kind of spiritual, you know, we kind of had our journey or whatnot when it comes to churches and things of that nature. But that's a whole nother conversation for another day. But one of the things that we always do is pray. We pray and we ask God for answers and for guidance, especially when things are very hard, right? And you have to sit still and you have to be in a place to be able to hear the response. If you ask a question, you will get a response, but you have to be in a place to be able to sit still and be silent to be able to hear it. And that takes work sometimes. You have to work on, that obedience or whatnot to really be able to receive those downloads. But once you start doing so and you kind of get like it down pat, then a lot of times the way you move and you operate in your life, a lot of people's not really going to understand that from the other side. And it's not to say that they're on no bad side or a worse side and you are a different side. Maybe different, but not worse, not lower than, not anything less than. But if they don't fully understand it, then sometimes judgments can be passed as far as sometimes the decisions that you make, how you choose to move and operate and engage, with certain things and certain issues or individuals, whatever it may be that you're praying on and you're asking for guidance with. Some people don't understand that. So when you start to make certain choices and decisions, a lot of times people will be like mind blown. Like they can't believe, like, I can't believe that you're going to pack up your car and put all this stuff in your car and you're going to leave from the place that you've always known, that you grew up in, and you're going to travel all of these miles across the world because you think that you're going to get a job or opportunity. And you may not have no like human confirmation that when you get there, you're going to get that job or that opportunity. But God told you to move. God told you to go. God gave you the answer that you were praying for. And you're being obedient of what is being told to you. You're praying for answers. You're getting answers and downloads and information on what to do, how to approach a situation. How do I navigate through this? I need help. And when you get those confirmations from the Creator, and for us, yes, it's God and stuff like that. But respectfully, I know people have different religious and spiritual beliefs, and that's very much accepted and respected here on this platform. But when you get those confirmations, from respectfully the God that you pray to, or whatever your spiritual beliefs and practices are, you move. And you move a lot of times, the older that you get, more quickly, because you practice this thing a time or two and you see that it works. And it may work for you, it may not work for other people, but it works for you. And so, when you're obedient to that and you make certain choices and things, a lot of people may not understand it. They're not going to get it. It seems very, like they're looking for clarity, and that's respectable. They're trying to understand, why did you make that choice? Why did you make that decision? How could you just? It's a personal thing. It's a personal thing when it comes to your heart, when it comes to your relationship with your God that you believe in, your spiritual beliefs, how you choose to live, and navigate through this world. And I just like that Tabitha speaking on that, because that is like basically how a lot of people move and operate. That is one of the main batteries that runs a lot of different people, is because of their faith and their spiritual beliefs and what they feel in their heart. And the downloads and the messages and the communications and the prayers and the conversations that they have based off of their spiritual beliefs. And I was just getting chills by her telling her story, because you think about it, she was basically saying, for the beginning part of it, she was like, yeah, no, that's not what I want to do. But she had to surrender and be obedient to what was being told to her. And then there was, a conversation she had. There was agreement that was made. And so, the obedience sometimes ties into that. You ask for certain things, and sometimes you're requested of certain things. and you have to be willing to meet that request based off of your request. And I don't know. I know for some people that may sound a little bit like off the wall, weird, up in the sky, eerie, whatever. But a lot of people do navigate and live their life that way. And I know that it can be foreign to some people if that's not how they live, and there's nothing wrong with that. You know, we all are different. We all live how we live and do how we do. But I did notice that in my life, like especially as I became an adult, I was like, yeah, a lot of us we do stuff different. That's all. You know, like we have different things that lead us, you know, different things that call us to do the things that we do and make the choices that we make, or, you know, not make the choices that we don't make. And I don't think that makes anybody a bad person or a weird person or any of those things. I just think we're all different. You know, whatever works for you, works for you. But let's get back into some more of the conversation, y'all. I'll be in the chat if y'all desire to come. And again, like I said, welcome everyone. If anybody is listening, you know, in the cut and just kicking back and chilling and just listening to the conversation, we can feel your presence. I appreciate that, you know, as well. If you're listening to the bushes for any other reasons, and you're gonna do what you're gonna do. But overall, I just feel as though, you know, I just want to bring some content, some conversation, some things that we can really talk about, that we can really decipher, and maybe we can think about on a deeper level, you know, when it comes to our interactions and engagements, not just on this YouTube or social media platforms, but in our life in general. And maybe see things sometimes through different lenses that may not be the ones that we wear. So that's all, y'all. Let's get back into the conversation, and we'll be right back.
In my ear, almost like a hummingbird would be, and you could just hear like a whisper, right? And then sometimes, just like I'm talking to you, I can hear a
Clear.
voice. Yes.
Wow.
I've heard once in my life a voice that sounded like thunder. It's the biggest change of my life that scared me. And other times, and for most people, the voice won't let you rest. So sometimes you'll be thinking about something. If it's you, you'll think about it. A couple times you might forget about it. Don't think about it no more. But that thought that keeps coming back, it wakes you up. You doing something, you think of it again. It just will. It's a nag. That's Holy Spirit, right? And then also He uses people to speak to you. And it's somebody that you don't know or that don't know anything about what you've been thinking will be like, you know what? Angie, you ever thought about moving to Miami permanently? You know you love it there. And you be like, I ain't told nobody that. And that's Holy Spirit.
Wow.
Right? So He can use anybody to bless us and to speak to us.
Wow.
So it happens differently.
Does that ever scare you? Not scare you of Him, but scare you of your own power. Like, you know what I mean? Or maybe in any way. I don't know. I just wonder if it ever scares you.
When I was younger, it used to scare me, right? My sister used to tell me it was the boogeyman. So you imagine being this little girl who's 6 or 7 and would see things at night or during the day or would dream stuff and then it happens. I remember, you know, as a little girl, like telling my mom about like my granny's uncle. I had dreamt about him and she was like, you don't know, that man has been dead 20 years. I'm 6 or 7 years old. It was very early for me. And then the looks you may get from people or the responses. But then also seeing people that you don't know while you're awake and nobody else sees them was very scary, and you can't control it. It just happens. I was very afraid as a little girl, and I did believe my sister there was the boogeyman. But then when I got grown and I still had to have a nightlife because I was scared. When me and my husband first got married up until 17 years ago, me and my husband 27 years. The first 10 years, I always had to have a nightlight or a television on until I fell asleep.
I do the same thing.
Because the dark, I would see things, right?
Oh, wow.
And
Just a little quick insert, y'all. That is real. Okay. People have gifts, they have abilities, and they may not from jump always understand what they are and how, you know, to navigate with them and around them. And I I don't brag on anything. I just can only say what the truth is. Um, I'm one of those people. Like I cannot sleep in silence because when it's like silent, super silent, and super quiet, and it's gonna sound weird. And if somebody say it sound weird, it's okay, it's understandable. But when it's super silent, I hear talking. I don't even want to say voices. I'm just gonna say I hear talking. Especially when I lay down and go to sleep, like at the end of like a long day or whatnot. And that's when you're supposed to be like, you fall into your bed and ooh, it's so comfortable, and you snooze off and you're in la la land. It doesn't work like that for me. So, and you can ask anybody who knows me. You can ask, Carlos, that's my boyfriend. You can ask Imani. You can ask my mother. You can ask my family. I can't sleep in silence. And then they used to ask me like, why is that? Like, why you always have to have like the TV on or music on or something like that? And I said, because it tunes out the voices, the sounds. And I hear it sometimes, like clearly what is being said, and I may know who it's coming from. Sometimes your ancestors will whisper to you, they'll talk to you. The ones that have passed on. I have grandmothers that are in heaven, and they speak to me. They do. And I know that's scary for some people, and it's a little bit weird, for some people or whatnot, or they may make you out to be weird or a little weird. And I don't share all these things all the time, so I'm being very open. But her just saying that, it made me feel comfortable to share, and I think it may be other people out there that experience that as well, and do maybe navigate it in a better way. But yeah, I can't sleep in total silence because I won't be able to sleep because it's too many voices, it's too many things is going on. When I'm playing music, that's why I love music so much. It's very therapeutic for me, and it's also an escape. When I'm playing music, when I'm got the TV on and stuff, when I'm laying down, I can go to sleep if the sound is on, because the sound that's coming from the TV or the music drowns out the sounds of like the voices. And I know that might sound weird to some people, but that is a real thing. I don't know. I think it's more people than not that probably experience that, and people share when they want to share, or indulge when it comes to that if they want to. But it is a thing. But yeah, let's keep going, y'all.
So when I got older, I was like, this can't be the boogeyman. You know what I'm saying? Like this is real. Like I'm having these experiences. And then I tried to pray it away. I talked about this in my first book, Feeding the Soul. Mm-hmm. I was like, I don't want it. Also, I didn't want to be the messenger anymore. I lost a lot of like relationships. When you are a messenger, it can get scary, heartbreaking even. And I remember I had a pastor who was mentoring me, because before my mother passed, she said, you need to find somebody who can help you with your gift. Mm. And so I thought that I could, like have this pastor, help me. I knew him very well. And he was helping me, to try to understand the gift and the different experiences. But then I started to see things in his life, and he stopped talking to me. Mm. And I was like, now what?
Wow.
Mm-hmm. So I remember I was like, God, please just take it away. I don't want it. And for about, I would say like a couple of years, it didn't go away, but it seemed to be weaker. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And then I felt like something was missing. And then after I like went through my journey of sickness and had my, my last, I called my meeting with Jesus, in the bathroom. It came back in a way like never before.
Mm. Mm-hmm. Wow. Do you think it was that prayer too? It was just all.
I think I was ready.
You were just ready.
I was no longer afraid to be the Tab he created me to be.
What is the exact prayer again? You asked him if he heals you.
If you heal me, you can have me. Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yeah.
And are you mindful of that every day? I was telling you this before when you walked in. I always have to remind myself to stay disciplined about surrender. Mm-hmm. Cause I don't know because I'm a Capricorn, because I'm type A. I don't know what it is, but I'm always like trying to like manage things. And then, but when I'm doing my best is when I do the fine line of you still work.
Yes.
You still got to work and everything. But ultimately, the surrender is like really important to just living the life you're supposed to live. And I struggle with that because it's hard for me.
Yeah.
So I have to always remind myself. But I would imagine that you are locked into that all the time.
I'm locked in, but I'm still flesh, right?
Yeah.
So obedience is constant work. Because there's many times where you'd be like, no, I can do it. Like the video we was just talking about.
And in that moment is when God said to me, he said, see, sometimes we can get hit and it might daze us. We might be a little sore, but we think that we're okay. But the impact, the damage of the impact shows up later in our life. And I said, my God, today, Lord, some of us have been hit a long time ago, but you're living right now in the effects of the impact.
I thought I was in control.
Oh my God, that video is so
right.
good. Yeah.
I literally had just went that morning. Because I had hip surgery last year, so I'm already in physical therapy, right? Now, normally my physical therapy is by my house. That day, my doctor said, you know what, today I'm down here in Beverly Hills in this office. Can you come here? I said, you know what, matter of fact, I'm in that area. I'll go on over there. Had the best session that I've had in so long. I was like, oh my God, my back feels so much better. I left that doctor's office and I put the address in the GPS thing and it said that hour and 14 minutes. I was like, oh my God, because I had a flight to catch. I need to go home, finish packing and get to the airport. I was like, I ain't got an hour and 14 minutes. I can go this other way that I know is probably quicker. And I turned to go that way and the time went up to like an hour, 31 minutes or something like that. I was like, Lord, now that's an added more time. I went up, U-turn to go on back the way I was going from the beginning. And 30 seconds after I turned around, I'm sitting at a stoplight and I got hit in the back. I mean, it hit me so hard that it dazed me. Like I was confused for a second. And in that moment, I was like, I just got hit. Like I couldn't believe it. And when I came to, like somebody was talking to me, it was my radio talking to me because the impact had called the paramedics. My car automatically did that. I didn't even know I had that feature. So baby, I didn't know who that was in the car. I was like, wait a minute, did I die? Lord, what is happening?
Oh my God.
So they were like, Mrs. Brown, like your car alerted us that you've had hard impact. Like we alerted the paramedics.
Wow.
So I said, okay. And so then the man was beside me trying to like open the door or, tap to like get me to, I guess, respond to him. And I was dazed. And then I was like, oh, so he called 911. So I was like, no, I'm fine. But my seatbelt had locked me.
When was this? This was recently.
October 16th. Yes.
Oh, a couple of weeks ago.
Just 3 weeks almost.
Yeah.
Yeah. And my immediate thought was like, Lord, I got to get to this airport. I got to get home.
You still trying to control everything?
I'm still in it. The paramedics show up, ma'am, we need to assess you. I said, I'm all right. I'm okay. I got to go. Car pushed on in the back. I said, I can drive it. I got to get home. I called my husband. Of course, he's a retired police officer. So he's like, you need to get in that ambulance. You can. I was like, I'm all right. I'm still in control. I'm still doing all the things. So as I drive home, I realized my electrical is not working. Radio won't come on. Air won't come on. So now I'm driving hot to the valley in LA. I get home. My husband's like, you don't need to go to London. You need to go to the hospital. Because I'm like, I just left physical therapy. I already had surgery. Like everything needs to be checked. But I was like, I can probably get it checked when I come back. These people over here in London and pay for these tickets. I'm literally still, that's all I'm thinking about. And God just revealed it to me in that moment. Like he silenced everything. He was like, I want you to go back and I want you to like drive yourself home in your head. Nothing was working. The air wasn't working. The radio wasn't working. The car was still moving forward. And it took me longer to get home than it was going to take me either way, right? He was like, this is what happens when you think you're in control. If you had just trusted the first way. And I was like, you're right.
You. Got
you
you.
Right.
Yeah.
He was like, you can get hot out there. Because baby, it was hot.
Yeah.
I was like, you right, Lord. I trust you. I trust you.
You have to get checked.
You have
to get checked.
But we flash. So every now and then, because sometimes things could be going so good sometimes, you'll get to thinking that you're doing it. Yeah, right. Baby, you get to thinking that it's you.
Yeah, I'm so good at
Baby, I'm doing so
I'm
good
so
right
good.
now, baby.
Yeah,
I know this GPS is hooked to all the satellites, but I know better.
Yeah.
No, you don't.
Yeah.
You know, there's a source that we're all hooked to.
Yeah.
And sometimes we're going to have to be obedient to it or it's going to get hot.
That's really good,
Yeah.
Tabitha. That is really good.
Yeah, so.
Hey guys, today's show is brought to you by Hard Rock Bet. Hard Rock Bet is a sportsbook app, and it's a really simple sports.
I think when it comes to my kids, and I do believe my daughter is gifted as well. She dreams. Sometimes we co-dream. We've done that over the years.
Wow.
Be in the same dream. It's the most craziest thing. We don't know it while we're in it, but when we wake up and we're like, did you? And we can finish the sentence. It was like we were in the same dream. And she'll dream something. Like we both can know when somebody's pregnant, right? We'll dream like one of my friends, she sent me a text and she was like, Mommy, I think Jontil might be pregnant. She was like, and I think it's a girl. And so I text a screenshot of it to my girlfriend, Jontil, and she texts me back the picture of the pregnancy test and a video where they were just going to tell their family that they're pregnant with a little girl.
Oh.
And so she calls that her baby. And then when I text her back, I said, I told you got Mommy's gift. She sends like the crying emojis. No, I don't want it. I don't want it, Mommy. She was like, that's too much because she's been, she's my daughter. So she knows what I've gone through over the years. But, my husband, who is my best friend, right? I grew up in the church, but that doesn't mean I grew up knowing the Lord, right? I was taught, but then really like letting God deposit in me, my whole relationship changed. So my husband did not grow up in the church. He grew up with no knowledge of who God was, who Jesus is, none of that stuff until we got together. The best part about being gifted and having this walk with the Lord is that my husband, when he is asked about my gift, he'll say, this is how I know God is real. That's the best part.
That's pretty great.
Yep.
Come on now.
Okay, that's the best part. I said, well, Lord, if I don't have to do nothing else, I've done enough.
It's interesting too, because when we've had a lot of people, it's in real life, right? So the podcast is actually meant to learn things about people's real life that we can then deposit into our own when we're in moments of confusion or whatever. But anytime relationships come up, and some of the best conversations about marriages and relationships, the core is always their connection to God. Yeah, that they have a shared, equally yoked. Yes. Right. We had Adrian and Israel on. We had even Sierra was just here earlier today, and that's what she credits her marriage to. It's so obvious.
Yes, I mean, God is so intentional.
He's so intentional, right?
Because,
like, how could you even have a healthy relationship without?
But also, like, when you look at the big picture, God used me to introduce my husband to him.
Oh, yes.
Do you understand?
I do.
Like, like he used his wife to show himself.
How many years married now?
We 22 years married, 27 together.
What has been the toughest, not toughest part of that? What's been the most challenging thing that you've had to face to be a good wife or to make your marriage work?
The most challenging thing was saying yes to myself. Right, because I'm from the South, right? So I grew up seeing women serve, right, when it comes to their husbands, right? My grandparents were married 52 years. My mom and dad were married for 25 before they separated. But I've always seen, like my uncles, aunts, everybody's married. I've always seen it. And so I always did everything. My children and my husband always came first until I got to the place of like, okay, I'm sick. I haven't been really good to myself. I've put myself last for many years. And I enjoy serving my husband, right? It was very hard for me to say no. It was so that I could have my own yes. It was hard for me to say I'm tired. It's still a challenge for me. Yeah. Right. Because
you even like saying it just now.
I didn't like saying it. It's tough because, and my mama told me this before I got married. She told me, she said, don't start nothing you don't want to maintain. She told me that. I said, girl, you don't know what you're talking about.
Mm-hmm.
She said, I'm telling you, don't start nothing you don't want to maintain. And I have always, but I do enjoy it, right? I enjoy like cooking for my family. And I always fix my husband's plate first. Everybody know that. And now I have my son. So my husband get his plate, my son get his plate. And so was it last Thanksgiving? Is either last Thanksgiving or Thanksgiving before last. I had a whole moment. You know I'm going through perimenopause.
We're going to talk about that too.
Yeah, I told my husband, I said, you know what? You don't never fix my plate. I had a whole attitude, girl. I had a whole attitude. He said, well, babe, did you want me to fix? Do you want me to fix your plate? I said, well, I shouldn't have to ask you. He said, well, I didn't know that you was upset about. I didn't even know it was a thing. And I had to walk myself back. And I was like, girl, you created a routine that he is used to. Mm-hmm. And now you mad at what you created. Mm-hmm. And all I heard was my mama say, don't start nothing you don't want to maintain.
Come on, mama.
Because what could have been more like simplified, or I could have started a different routine, be like, on this day, I want you to cook for me, or like, let's agree that like you cook this day or you serve me or whatever, little things. But I never did. I just continued on because I did enjoy it. But now, girl, I got 11 jobs. Girl,
and menopause.
And perimenopause.
Perimenopause,
you know? So, and then you have kids and all the things, but
your needs change.
You change.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. He's changed. We both changed. That's the thing about marriage. You have to know that you're both going to change. Some of them seasons, you're going to love it. Some of them seasons, not so much, right? You just both have to agree and understand that, baby, when we in this change, we won't have to respect each other.
Yeah.
Right? We got to change into whoever it is the next season that we're going to become or be. But that's been the toughest part, right?
How's he adapted to that?
Listen, it's tough for him too.
Yeah.
But he's also like, men are simple. You just got to communicate with them.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. As a woman, I literally had to realize, girl, he can't read your mind. Mm-hmm. Even if I think he should know, I can never assume that. Also, how would I feel if I just think, if he thought the same of me and doesn't tell me, like, you got an issue with me, but you ain't telling me, and I think I'm doing everything right. It ain't fair, right? It's the same thing, but for whatever reason, women, because I think we are natural nurturers, we just assume other people feel the same way.
We don't want to I also think asking for you what you want sometimes requires you to be vulnerable. And if people want somebody to just know what they want. And it's not really fair, like you
But
said.
also because I spent almost 20 years learning everything about him. What he likes, what he doesn't like, how he wanted his food, what he wants to eat, his clothes, like his hobbies, like all the things. I know my husband through and through. And if somebody come and try to tell me something about my husband, I'm like, you's a lie. Okay, I know that man. Okay. And then I realized I knew more about him than I did about me. But when you spend that much time getting to know someone, because I wanted to be a good wife, right? And nothing is wrong with that. It's great that I did that, but I also got to give myself that same energy.
Yeah.
Because what happens is when you learn that, you expect them to do the same for you. But the best way to show somebody who you are is to live your life out loud. So I got to treat myself the way I want him to treat me.
Oh my God, y'all. I hate to stop it right there. I really do. But you know how we do over here, y'all. You got to let me know. Y'all can drop down in the comments later if you want to, come in the chat. But I know, some people may like to lay in the cut. But if you are really feeling like heard, seen, and moved by this conversation, y'all let me know, because we can do a part 2 to this. But I want to do a part 2 to this because I want to share more of this conversation and kick it with y'all at the same time. Because, oh my God, everything that she's saying could not be further from the truth. And, one of the things that sucks, honestly, is what I, started to realize and whatnot on this platform is like, it's hard to be vulnerable. It's hard to be honest. It's hard to be open, right? Because if you are somebody who wants to do that and share your story, your experience and whatnot, child can be used against you later in the court of law. That's a joke, but no, it literally can end up in the court of law. But you know, it'll be all over YouTube streets, and by the time it get from this channel to this channel to this channel and this creator, it's not gonna be what you said. But anyway, listening to Tabitha Brown's story, and y'all, shout out to Tabitha Brown and shout out to Angie Martinez. If you are not familiar with, like I said, Angie Martinez platform, you know, it's the IRL platform. She is the interviewer and the host. We all know Angie Martinez from the, you know, the music industry, from the radio stations, but also, y'all, Tabitha Brown also has a YouTube channel, and she also has like different segments and things she does on different days on her channel with her family, which I believe that she's still doing it. I have been kind of out of the loop with it for a few months, but she did have different segments she do with her brother. She has segments she do with her daughters. She has segments she do with her husband, and they talk about all of the different type of topics, you know, and stuff and whatnot based off of those relationships and what it is that they're doing. And you know, she get PO boxes and she supports small businesses. They send her things and she reviews, you know, their items or whatever it is they may do or create in their business. They send it to her. She does that on her YouTube channel as well. She's got the kids show, which JJ, my son, that's 3, he has watched and he loves or whatever. So anyway, just shout out to both of them and love Tabitha Brown spirit. But as far as like this conversation when she's talking about with the relationship situation, child, that could not be further from the truth. And I've never been married. You would think that I was married because I was in a relationship so daggone long, child. Y'all, in certain state, it would be common law marriage. But, you know, that's no longer, and I'm in a new relationship, which is I'm loving because it's a different dynamic within that relationship. But yeah, the original relationship I was in, I was very much like that. I'm very a subservient woman. I like to serve. I like to, you know, I'm just that kind of girl. Like if I'm with my man or whatever or whoever, like whatever you need, I got you. You know, I'm gonna take care of you. I'm gonna make sure you're straight. And I did that for a long period of time. And I started off in the relationship being that way. And one thing that I did learn is what Tabitha said. Don't start something that you ain't gonna be able to keep up with, or you know, you may get tired of doing at some point down the line. And that is a mistake that I made at a very young age. And you see what Tabitha's saying. Her and her husband, they got together basically the same age that I got together with, you know, whatever, JJ's dad. We were 17, 18 years old. And we stayed together till up to like now, I believe it's been 5 years ago. So 5 years ago is when we split. But from the time we was teenagers until 5 years ago, it was me and him. And I'm that type of girl. I'm that type of girlfriend. And yeah. I started something and it was to be expected. And then when you grow and you shift and you pivot, you start getting a career, you start getting busy, you start, you know, maybe having a health issue, whatever. Different changes all over that may happen in your life. And you cannot no longer or at the same rate show up in that way that you did initially. That becomes a grift. I mean, that becomes a real issue within the relationship because that is what that person has been so used to you providing, you being, and you doing on a consistent basis. And when that shifts and that pivots and that change, then there will be issues with that. And then sometimes, like she said, you want to throw the ball back in their court. Like, can you cook tonight? Can you clean the house? Like, can you take the dogs for the walk? You know, whatever it may be, right? But if you start off one way and you so consistently doing that, and they can see that you enjoy doing it, because it's not like it's a chore for you. You enjoy to do it. It's what you want to do because you love that person, but you almost get stuck because the minute where it shifts and it changes, then now there's some issues because this is what this person is used to. And you made them understand that, like, you will continue to do this, you know, like this is what you do consistently. Child, that could be not further from the truth. But I ain't got no ring. Child, I ain't never put a ring on it. But you know, a long relationship. But wow, that couldn't be further from the truth. And then when you step into, different eras of your life, they shift and they change. I think it's beautiful if you have someone that is willing to shift and change with you and go through, the hills and the valleys. And sometimes you don't have a person that's willing to do that. Like when, the tough, what they say, when the going gets tough, the tough get going. Something like that old school phrase. hmm It can be very much like that sometimes. And it can be just sometimes people have, boundaries and certain things. It's just, I'm not doing that. That's where I draw the line and all of those things. And, that we have to respect that with one another, especially in the relationship space. But one of the things that I love so much that she talked about is where they are at now. And she was able to, and her boyfriend, and then, her now husband at the time, they were able to work through those hills and valleys and get to where they are. So they're in that sweet spot right now. And I think it's lovely to be in that sweet spot. And so one of the things that I appreciate so much right now in my life is that I'm in a relationship where there's a sweet spot. And it didn't take a lot of time. And I will say that I don't know if this is a major factor, but my boyfriend right now is older than me. And so I like that because I feel like it's like on certain things, especially the important things, is like he's kind of years ahead of me as far as like holding more wisdom, more maturity, and things of that nature. But I also see and I feel, and I don't know if he can attest to this because he don't like talking about shit though. So, but I feel like there's a healthy balance like between both of our personalities. Because for the most part, it's like we both are from the north, so we understand, like that, and we from the hood, so we understand that. And we get things like the same way. Like we see a lot of things the same way, and a lot of things we see differently. But we both are in a position in our life where we are open. You know what I mean? Like, and we're able to have conversations where it may be like I see it a certain way, and I explain how I see it, and I'm like, "You see where I'm coming from?" Like, yeah, I see where you're coming from with that. And then it's same thing, like vice versa. Both of us is going back and forth with those type of conversations. So I do feel like overall, like it's a nice give and take when it comes to it. But that's all I'm gonna say, child, because on this platform you cannot tell too much about your business because child they'll twist it and they'll regurgitate it somewhere else later and spit it out somewhere or try to use it against you, weaponize it against you. I'm like, oof, nasty word. And you just want to be vulnerable and just share with people. Like, what happened to sharing? I don't know. But excellent conversation, y'all. So y'all let me know if y'all want me to do a part 2 on this one. I'm gonna go ahead and take a quick song break. After we come back from the song break, we're gonna get into the final conversation of the live because I don't want to hold y'all for too long. But we're gonna hear a little bit from Gabrielle Union. And Gabrielle Union is also sitting down with Angie Martinez. And what she'll be speaking about is you never know what your friends are going through. So Gabrielle Union reflects on stepping into her peaceful era after years of working through trauma and PTSD. She emphasizes that even people who seem to have it all together are often fighting internal battles that nobody knows about. Gabrielle speaks warmly about her marriage with Dwayne Wade, the importance of surrounding yourself with thriving, supportive couples if you are a couple yourself, and how, seasoned industry figures like Tisha Campbell and Regina King provided grounding mentorship and safe spaces and advice for her. So we'll get into that conversation in just a minute, y'all. Let me go ahead and just take this quick song break and get me some water, and we'll be right back. Thank y'all so much for rocking with me. I hope you're enjoying the content and the conversation. I'll be right back.
The soul of humanity cries. A roof above, shelter from the storm. A gentle hand to keep a spirit warm. A plate of food, a mind that's free to learn. A simple peace, a righteous wage to earn. That's right. These are the needs to bedrock and the base. The sacred ground of the whole human race. But the screen is screaming, selling something cheap, while the real world babies cry themselves to sleep. Can't ignore it. We are human. Blood and bone and soul. Say it loud. With a right to be loved. The right to be loved. A right to be made whole. This is our slave. This is our sacred song. In the eyes of the creator. 'Cause where we all belong. We are human. Worth more than they can price. We are the hateful whispers and the Lord in yeah, they're painting pictures, twisted and unreal, teaching our children how they ought to feel. All that value's in the label on your shoes, or the filtered life you desperately choose. They magnify the hate, they celebrate the greed, and plant a poison to suffocate your weed. We gotta reach our children, pull them from the glow and show them a beauty that the media don't know. Let them know. They'll take the vision, the mission of the television, spitting division, a mental prison. Got the youth chasing life's addicted to the feed, ignore the hunger, the fundamental need. They love their vitals on the digital stage, putting the future knowledge in a ritual cage. Now they're gonna break the cycle, gotta cut the cord. The real word is powerful, mightier than the source. We teach them about their history, teach them about their grace, teach them about the power in every single face. Let's go. We are human. Blood and bone and soul. Yeah, everyone has a right to be loved. Has a right to be loved. A right to be made whole. This is our story. This is our sacred song. In the eyes of the creator. Let me all belong. We are human. Worth more than they can price. We are the hateful whispers and the lonely die. You will build a world where every voice is heard. Every single one, from the suburbs to the curb. And love is not a whisper, but a mighty thundering word. A word of action, breaking leather chain. A word of power, washing out the pain. It ain't a feeling, it's a verb. It's what you do for me, for them, for us, for you. 'Cause they just a track, just a call to action for every mother, father, every single fraction of the unity, holding it down on the ground. Time to get loud, make a revolutionary sound. Look your child in the eye, tell her that they matter. Tell them this spirit is something that don't lie and shine. That's what the knowledge is the weapon, love is the shield, and the truth is the harvest. We gonna grow in this field, yeah. We are human. Oh yes, we are. Teach for children. Learn power. Teach for truth. Reach where you let the rules in a fruit. We are human. A right to live. Right to live. Reach where you let the rules in a fruit. We are human. Single soul on this
All right, y'all. So thanks for rocking with me. That little song break right there. So I did give y'all a brief synopsis of what we'll be getting into in this last video, y'all. And I'm not going to hold you very much longer. I appreciate all your time and taking out your time of your day to come and listen. Whether you're here with me in the chat or you're just listening in the cut, I appreciate it. And thank you very much. But yes, so now we have Angie Martinez, and she is sat down with Gabrielle Union. And, you know, the gist of what they're talking about in this interview is that you just never know what your friends are going through. And so there's some really great conversation that, you know, they have when it comes to that. And y'all gotta remember, a lot of the meat and potatoes of these interviews is basically in the middle and towards the end. So that's why I say I don't have no problem with doing a part 2 or a part 3 for y'all. Y'all just let me know if that's what y'all want. But we're getting so much wisdom and so much great conversation, even from just the beginning part. So we're at 2 hours and 19 minutes. So I'm going to go ahead and just play about maybe 20 minutes of this, the beginning of it, the first 20 minutes. And then, we'll do our bops and wrap it up per usual, because I don't want to hold y'all too long for real. But let's go ahead and get into it, y'all. I'm going to meet y'all in the chat.
And, everyone has a moment. And I was having a little bit bratty moment. And she's like, came to my trailer. She has a little thing of sunflower seeds. And she was like, hand me some sunflower seeds. And she's like, basically, cut the shit. Cut the shit. I was like, I'm going to cut the shit. You know what I mean? And sometimes you need that too. It's not always, moonlight and roses. Sometimes you need, an OG to be like, cut the shit. Have some sunflower seeds.
Thanks for watching, guys. Today's episode is brought to you by Boost Mobile. From starring in American teen classics to becoming a scene stealer in some of our favorite movies like Bring It On, Deliver Us from Eva, Bad Bunny.
Bad Bunny.
The Bad Bunny movie, Bad Boys 2. She went on to lead as being Mary Jane, which is one of BET's most successful scripted series. She's here promoting her new role in the animated sports comedy GOAT, produced by Steph Curry. She's a New York Times bestseller, a producer, a wife, a badass, a mom, a friend, many, many things. Please welcome my friend Gabrielle Union to IRL Podcast today. Gab, that intro, I'm going to be honest, it doesn't really hit all the points. There's so many things that you have done in your career. It's really quite impressive.
It's weird. It's like you're talking about somebody else.
So what era is this? What season is this for Gabrielle Union right now?
Oh, this is my Let Them era.
Oh, yes.
It's like, okay. Okay.
And you do it so well.
Except when we were having challenges in Miami getting into the game. Maybe that wasn't my finest hour. That was definitely not a let them. It was like, let me take over.
Where did we go? We went to
the national championship game.
That game.
Yeah.
I didn't know where we were going to. I just kind of showed up. That was the first time. I've hung out with you and D before. That was the first time I was hanging out with you guys, and it was an event that you were part of, and he was like the plus one.
Yeah.
And it's kind of really sweet to see you two in that dynamic, because he really puts an effort to say, no, I'm just the plus one.
He likes saying that, but I'm like, baby, you're never the plus one. Of course, he walks in. We're in Miami.
I know.
And, Tom Brady is also doing this gig. And Tom's like, where's my guy? I was like, he's over there. Never saw Tom again. They're just chopping it up.
Yeah.
But no, he's in a very supportive space.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? It was supposed to be after he retired. We were moving to LA, and it's all about me. And
this was going to be your season.
This was going to be my season.
Yes.
And then he promptly took like 8 more jobs.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're doing better at actually being present and being truly supportive.
You ever notice how everything keeps going up? I mean, rent is going up, streaming services are going up, even like your favorite burrito place all of a sudden wants to charge you for salad. For you, how does it affect you as a couple? Like, how has life changed?
Well, just him being home was just different. Like, he doesn't, you get into a rhythm of how things are done in the house.
Yeah.
And then he comes in and, he's very particular and a little persnickety about how things are done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that will cause a little shift.
Yeah, because we're like a little looser. You know what I mean? It's like, this doesn't have to be put away, or this doesn't have to be perfect. And, he came home and he's like, what have I been paying for? It's like,
he's paying attention to details.
So much attention to detail.
Yeah, oh.
But it was also like watching him find different passions. When you've been so good at one thing for so long and you're recognized globally for being good at this one thing, what's my next challenge?
Yeah.
And watching him find new passions, that he's taken up golf, and that's y'all's passion.
He's
We
my
definitely-
best friend. He's one of my golf best friends because
He's
he's
very into it.
because he's as much of a psychopath as I am, and I love that about him.
No, but he's really, really into it, has
Mm.
coaches, and he wants to be the best. And now he's really into photography.
Oh wow!
So no matter where we go, he hires a local photographer to like teach him,
Yeah.
new things.
I love that.
Yeah. So, he's really into different things, and he's more interesting, and he's into art and travel and
Wine
wine, of course. Yeah.
and
wine.
potting. He was podcasting for a little.
Oh, yes. No, he still has a podcast. I
What
thought
do you
were.
think I said? Never mind.
I was like, pot? No, he is an investor in cannabis companies. Yes. I
That's
was
who
like-
he does.
I was like, is that called potting? Yeah. No, he has a
Oh my
podcast.
God. You guys have really, by the way, of my pod era, like you guys have really been a lovely support. Like you support it. Like I feel like, I don't know. We went on your 50th party, and he had like 100 questions about
Oh,
interview style and the way I was doing certain interviews that he had watched, and it just was. It's sometimes you don't think your friends are even paying attention to
No, oh my God.
what you're
Yeah.
doing in that kind of way.
because it was like a new thing for you. And he was, he's in that period of discovery
Yeah,
of like, could this be something I'm passionate about? Could this be something I'm good at? And so
Yeah.
he's like, I want to talk to the goats, and you're a goat in all that you do.
thank you.
So
though.
he really, he was legit very interested.
No,
and then
he was-
he watches every episode.
Oh my God, I love
And he'll be
that.
like, did you see like how she did, like what she transitioned? I was like, yes, you
I
should,
love that
talk to her about
so much.
it. No, he pays attention to all the little things because he wants to be great at being a podcaster. He wants to be great as a
Interviewer, as a
interviewer.
yeah.
And so he watches the goats.
What are you working on now? Like, what are you trying to be great at? What are you finding new in your life?
I'm trying to be great at being in a peaceful state.
Uh-huh.
And, no matter if there's adversity going on, that
Mm.
like my soul is at peace. Like I don't have to submit to the chaos. I don't have to join in.
Give me an example. What are you talking? What are you thinking about?
I mean, it's Hollywood, right? So I'm working on this movie that I guess I can't talk about just yet, but we're working on this movie, and I get to work and there's no pages. Like I was like, well, what are we performing today?
Mm.
And they're like, we're just waiting on the pages. And I'm like, so I'm just supposed to get these pages and act
And deliver.
and deliver like with no preparation,
so
which
old you would have what?
I've had an anxiety attack for sure, because I live to be prepared.
Mm.
I believe there is no such thing as luck. It's, when opportunity and preparedness come together. And so if I'm not prepared, how can I be good?
Right.
And
So you panic.
full panic.
Mm.
And then the rage. How dare you set me up for failure? You know what I mean?
Right.
And I was like, it's going to be great. Okay. Like
This
my
is new.
soul is
This is
not
new for
being
you.
disrupted. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I also did this, I did this program that's called NEMA. And it helps people with post-traumatic stress syndrome, which I've been a victim of for 33 years
Mhm.
since my sexual assault, and finally getting help that is specific to post-traumatic stress.
And this is a new
syndrome.
thing that you've been doing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I believe in it so greatly. I become an investor. Like I'm a part of the NEMA team
Uh-huh.
because it changed my life.
Tell me how. Tell me what it is.
Like you can either do like between like 10 and 15 sessions. I did mine sometimes back to back every day. So I might do 5 one week, 3 the next.
Is it therapy?
It's therapy. Yes.
Uh-huh.
It's you one-on-one with a trauma specialist
Uh-huh.
that's trained specifically in PTSD therapy. And they have tremendous success. And they've been using this therapy on veterans, on anyone who's suffered,
Uh-huh.
from suffering from post-traumatic stress syndrome. And it's funny. It's not funny, but it's the majority of the people that they see. You would imagine that they're soldiers, are veterans, and we are being traumatized daily.
Mm.
And we don't recognize that we are being traumatized daily.
You mean like the news or just
Whether it's the news or just things that are happening to us that are devastating, that we're not expecting.
Mm.
And you can't predict how it's going to land in your body.
Mm.
Right. Like my husband grew up, oh, that guy's dead on the street. Oh, parents dealing with addiction and what comes with that, like the uncertainty of childhood.
everything is on the table, basically. Anything could happen at any time. That can leave you traumatized. And how it manifests, it may progress to PTSD or not, but there's a lot more people that can benefit from these therapies than probably who would think that they could.
But wait, so what is the difference between that and regular therapy?
So I've been in regular therapy literally 3 days after my assault, right? I workman's comp kicked right in, and I started seeing a therapist to help deal with it. But it's therapy that's not like specializing in
trauma,
in that kind of trauma. So it got me to where it was like a Band-Aid, but on a gusher. So it got me till the next week, but I wasn't seeing any progress. I've been in therapy for 33 years, but I didn't feel like I was getting better. I have the anxiety would be a full body anxiety. And because I'm
still now?
No, not since I completed the session, which is insane. Because I just
how
thought
long ago?
I completed it beginning of October.
But that's a long, so you've been carrying that for all those years.
And it just becomes a normal part of your body. But then, health issues, and you're not realizing that it's slowly killing you at the same time.
Wow.
So not only was able to find what peace feels like in my body, my health improved dramatically. Like night and day. Like I didn't understand how much that kind of anxiety was inflaming my body, was exacerbating the autoimmune issues that I had.
That's so fascinating to me, Gab, because all these years I feel like you've done so much work on yourself and therapy and all the things. I feel like you've done all the things.
Like that's what it was. I thought that was the best case scenario. I didn't think it could be better. Like I'm doing everything. I can function. Like I'm not, in a padded cell, but I wasn't
there was
free.
something I was going to say. For you to go searching for that, there had to still be something.
Well, I heard about it. I'd heard about the NEMA treatments, and I was like, I wonder if that would work for me. And the more I learned about it, I was like, and it's like therapists, driven, centered. And I was like, can I invest? Can I be not only a client, but the player president? Like, I want it in because I'm like, if this works for me, I want to scream it from the rooftops that it could work for anybody else. And it changed everything. And you get homework every night. Like the homework might be like an hour, almost as long as the session. And it's like reaffirming your safety. And when I felt safe enough to allow peace in, now I don't want to let it go. So
then what shifts? Like what has changed in you since that?
The immediacy of the panic, the immediacy of the terror. It's like if we were to go out like golf, right?
Yeah.
If I hate for somebody to have to come correct me, right? So if we didn't have the right, whatever, collared shirt, or it's not tucked in, we don't have whatever the rules are at the golf course, I would live with anxiety that someone's going to come up and say something to me, and I'm going to be disciplined, and I wouldn't be able to enjoy myself. But you guys might not notice because it's just what was normal to me in my body, like a state of like full terror. And
wow.
Now it's the absence of this, and I was like, is this peace? Because I don't want to ever not have peace. I'm like, obviously it's life, so bad things are going to happen. Adversity is going to happen. That might not have a script the day you're supposed to be shooting 10 pages. It's going to be all right. We'll figure it out. But it doesn't have to be feeling like I'm being actively hunted.
Wow.
Yeah.
The fact that you've been feeling that felt that way for so long, because you don't present that way at all.
That's why everyone's like, you don't really give me, like someone who's anxious. And I was like, because I don't have the option of looking anxious, but that's what's happening.
And also because you've been managing it for so long that you manage it well.
Well, it's normal now.
Right. So you know how to put a face on and you know how to work through it, but you still feel it.
Like throughout my whole body, like stomach issues, heart issues. It was manifesting in literally out of every pore.
Wow.
And I was like, so wait, there's another way? And so when I completed it, I was like, okay, is this going to stick? And I'm also like, when people come up and I can't see them, like the feeling of being startled is like, you might as well have a gun to my head. Like, or somebody saying, hey, it's nice to meet you. But if I don't see them coming, it's like, inside.
Yeah.
But what ends up happening is I'm like, no, it's so great to meet you. But inside it's just, so I could tell the first time somebody came up to me and I couldn't see them.
Wow.
And I was just like, it's nice to meet you. And it wasn't the full body jolt.
That was recently, just recently.
Yeah, in the last few months. Going to Rome.
That makes me feel like, well, first of all, my God, it's like a lesson for like, we don't even know what our friends, people close to us. I mean, you know some things that I've shared with you about my life, and I have the same thing as you. I have to show up for work. I got to this. So sometimes you have the worst day, but we know how to show up and deliver and do the things.
Mm-hmm.
But it's just, I don't know, hearing you say that's like, it's just really a testament to like, really, you do not know what's going on inside other people's bodies or inside other people's kind of traumas or just the internal voices that they have going on. And we could miss it by so much. And we're so quick to judge people, how they behave, or somebody could see you in that moment. Somebody could have just done that to you and not be thrilled with how you greeted them, not having no idea of the trauma that you were feeling inside.
Well, and it makes people feel bad. Like you walk up to somebody that you want to say hello to and they're like, you know what I mean? It's kind of hard to continue after that.
Yeah, you're like, never mind, sorry.
Yeah, and I was like, no. Like I just got startled. I'm sorry.
Well, this is a big deal then. This is a big shift.
It's a major shift. And like to feel at peace in my body in the midst of chaos, but I don't succumb to the chaos is huge and it's new. And I'm like, I'm not going back.
So what are the perks of that? Like, is like life
I don't
better?
care. Like everything, like
everything's better.
Everything's better. And I just still, okay. Like Mel Robbins says, let them. I'm like, okay. You think X, Y, and Z about me? Okay. Life didn't change. But thank you for taking time out of your day to tell me how awful I am. But like, I don't care. I don't care. That's not something I'm going to give energy or attention to.
But you did before.
I generally don't scroll past the first 3 comments for the most part. So if I go looking for, you're going to find somebody to tell you about yourself.
Yeah.
And you're going to read something that someone said that you actually feel about yourself.
Yeah.
And you'll spin out. And you're, oh my God, am I that transparent? Like are people seeing every flaw that I feel like I have? And it could ruin your day, it could ruin your week. And now I'm like, I don't care. Yeah. God bless.
It makes me realize how brave you are, though, because you've made choices in your own life. You've made choices. Your family has made choices to live their lives truthfully and publicly. So to know that it would affect you that much, but you still made the choice
because I
live in truth.
I may have been a prisoner to PTSD, but I will never be a prisoner to the fuckery. I won't. I'm one of those see something, say something people. I need the freedom of truth. I need the freedom to tell the truth, to hear the truth, to hold your hand when you're dealing, you know what I mean? But if I'm in that other space of pretending and always, having to be on, it doesn't really allow for you to be human. You know what I mean? And I'm just not willing to go back. It feels too good
for you.
Being.
Did I just kick you? Sorry, boo-boo.
It feels too good to be fully in my body and fully present. And so no matter how hard it is, no matter how many times the FBI calls you and it's like, you and your family are on a hit list.
Is that a real thing?
It's absolutely a real thing. But that's what comes with truth telling, but there's also that other price to pay. But I can't be put into a gilded cage. I don't know. I watch too many people that I know and love who have so much to offer and have so many amazing things to say, put themselves in a gilded cage.
They're afraid. Yeah.
Deathly afraid. I mean, and there's things to be afraid of.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Death threats are weird. It's a weird sensation. And it's like, if it's just me, but my baby has to die, that's something. And I don't think people really understand the weight of truth telling in this day and age.
Wow, y'all. So I'm going to just take a quick commentary break right there. So many things that was just said within this segment. And y'all, guess what? Mama Warrior is going to join in just a bit because she has a few things to talk about. especially when it comes to this topic and some of her own testimonies and things that she's going to share. Typical mama warrior style. But as y'all can see, I've been putting some helplines and additional information as far as what Gabrielle is talking about for a organization or like a health organization that has helped her with extreme PTSD that is secondary to unfortunately actual assault that she experienced in her life. And so those type of things can leave a lot of residuals behind and can definitely change how you move and you navigate in society, in the world from that day forth. But these are some resources that I do have in the chat, y'all, that I've been putting up on the screen. And the main one that she has partnered with is Nema Health. This is the website. It is nemahealth.com. And she has gotten a lot of, great help from that group and that organization when it comes to a lot of the residuals she was dealing with after her trauma, when it comes to that. And so, sending love and prayers to her and anyone who has experienced that, because it's not easy and everybody will deal with those things in their own type of way. The fallouts, when it comes to that and what it leaves you with, the scars and the marks that it leaves you with can be different for everyone. And, you find your best way to navigate through it, despite if you're a celebrity or just an everyday person. But you got to get up and you got to go to work and you got to go back out into the world. And a lot of times you don't want to and you're fearful to do so. And so I just think that's a terrible feeling to have and experience to go through and to be left with those residuals. But we can get stronger. And you can move on in life and not allow those things to cripple you or continue to control you, your emotions, and how you engage with the world and society. So it's not something I can personally speak on, so I won't say too much on it, but I do know that a lot of people have experienced those things. And so my thoughts and prayers go out to anyone who has experienced that. But outside of that, what she also was speaking on as far as being like a truth teller. Being a truth teller is not popular, child. I'm telling you for real, what I have experienced. When you just tell the truth and you unapologetically tell the truth, and sometimes your truth correlates with someone else's lie, and it may just, it's like a car crash. People don't like that. They don't like for you to expose the truth that, dismantles their lie. And they get upset, and things can be done and weaponized against you to silence you or to scare you or, to put you in your place or your box or your corner or whatever it is they may see fit that they're doing. All from the sake that, you just decide that you're going to tell the truth. That's it. Like, you're not going to lie. You're not going to sugarcoat nothing. You're going to tell it like it is. You're going to tell hard truths about yourself first. At least that's how I start. About myself first and anything that I may have done first. But I don't like for people to lie on me. And so if you're lying on me and I know you lying and I know what the truth is, I'm going to tell it. I'm going to tell it because now you're trying to make me out to be the liar. You're trying to make me out to look bad. And I'm not rocking with that. So yeah, I will tell the truth. I tell the truth about, not necessarily tell the truth, but I present the truth about what is happening in our political and governmental spaces and sectors. Child, they don't like that. You're not popular when you do those type of things because, these nasty, dirty things that people do, they want all of that to stay in the dark. They don't want to come to the light. And if you're someone who's speaking on it and shining the light on it, then you can put a target on your back. And people will, they'll get upset. And however way they see fit, they may attack you. Now, she was speaking about getting death threats in the mail towards her family, not just her, but her children as well. And now her family's unsafe, all because she wanted to tell the truth. Crazy work. I don't understand how we live in a society like this, and how we have gotten to this point. I think it's just been too much dirty deeds being done that's been just okay, justified as okay. And when you someone who sees that and you speak up against it, and you're like, nah, that ain't right. That ain't supposed to go down like that. Especially when it's something that is personal to you, that you're speaking on, that your name is attached to or involved in. I believe you have every right to speak the truth when it comes to that. Now, you know how they talk about y'all, because y'all know I'm from the streets and stuff, snitches and stuff like that. Now, some people have their thoughts and feelings and opinions when it comes to snitches, people who tell other people's truths or other people's, what went down, and they have nothing to do with it. They just want to run their mouth. A lot of people don't respect that. From the places where I'm from, I get that. You know what I'm saying? But when it comes to people lying on you, or telling a story or a narrative or something like that, and just telling it wrong and having lies all attached to it and your name attached to it, I believe you get to speak up for the truth when it comes to defending yourself. When somebody's clearly lying on you. And when it comes to activism, talking about the truth about what is really happening systemically, what is happening in the world globally, and the people who are responsible and things like that, that's not an easy task. It's not an easy task. And talking about those topics and making that type of content is very risque. It's very risque because, a lot of people they don't want that. One of the things that I've seen, though, that there has been a shift and a change when it comes to independent media. And I think independent media, is really an amazing thing, because now it's not as taboo as it used to be, for people to, kind of come out and talk about politics and things like that and all that. And I ain't going to bore y'all with all that today. That's for a different day. We'll do politics on a different day. But just going back to the fact that you just want to tell the truth and you get attacked for telling the truth. It's not a thing that's just happening here on YouTube or amongst content creators. We even have Gabrielle Union sitting up here saying that, this is just what happens, period, across the board. It's happening to her and her family. They're being harassed, they're being threatened, her children is being threatened, all because she wants to tell the truth. And that blows my mind. That's crazy. I did not know you could be put in such a harmful place by people who just so severely want to keep the truth alive and just bury things and pretend that what it is what it's not, and what it's not is what it is. All of that back and forth and spin around the circle, that's weird to me. Just tell the truth and shame the devil. That's what my grandma used to say. But anyway, y'all, we're gonna get back into, let me see where we at. Hold on, give me a sec. Oh, well, I told y'all 20 minutes. Few more seconds. Let's just listen to the last few seconds of this. Mama Word's going to come in and give a few of her thoughts, feelings, and opinions. We end it with bops per usual, and I'm going to let y'all go. But thank y'all so much for rocking with us. Let's get back into it.
Yeah, talk to me about that.
Being at trying to lead from the front all the time. I mean, the first one to the microphone, the first one who says something, the most, fierce and ferocious advocate and activist. And then my health took a big hit. It took a big hit. And for years, it took us a while, process of elimination, to figure out what was actually going on in my body, and that I was being ravaged by an autoimmune issue that is exacerbated by stress and anxiety. And it was just me always feeling like I gotta always be 10 toes down on everything. I was dying slowly.
I had no idea. Yeah.
Yeah. Because it's like, for a long time, we didn't know what exactly it was. So it's like MRIs and scans and biopsies and this and that and the other. And you're waiting for the results, and they're like, well, it's not cancer. You're like, okay, well, what is it? They're like, it's a mass. You're like, oh, okay, thanks. Insert more anxiety, but I'm supposed to not have anxiety,
when
so I'm
was
not
this
inflamed.
Happening? Recently?
It's been the last 4 years. Yeah.
Wow.
So finally, again, kind of close to like October, getting on the right medication to deal with, some of these issues. But when you're in it, people don't understand, like, inflammation, crazy inflammation can literally make your face look like a circle. Like, and it's not going to be the most symmetrical, like, you know what I mean? So it could be bigger over here, or this could be bigger, or this part of my lip is swollen, and they're like, bad filler. And I'm like, or I'm slowly dying. But get your jokes off. Get your jokes off. Oh, she's ruined her face. And then now people see me and I'm like, I'm just not inflamed. You know, my body is not trying to kill me. And they're like, oh, she's let it settle. I'm like,
get out.
Okay.
First of all, stop reading the damn comments.
Okay.
Stop reading the comments.
You know.
You don't do it. You don't live that way just for you too. Like, as how you say, you step out, you're advocate and you stand for so many things. Also, I think you guys as a family have done that, right? Like you've made a conscious decision to stand in your truth about private things, relationship, your marriage, your surrogacy, so many things about your life. You've been on the front lines kind of like presenting as, hey guys, this is okay.
It's okay. It happens to everybody.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And you don't have to throw your children out. You know, if they're not exactly how you imagine them to be. Talking to people and they're like, what will my family say? What will my church say? What will these people say? And I'm like, that's your child.
You mean of trans or
trans kids, queer kids, family of doctors, kid wants to be an engineer. And it's like, this isn't life and death.
Yeah.
It's still your baby.
Yeah.
You love them.
Support them.
You're supposed to be the sanctuary.
Yeah.
Not the hell that they're escaping.
Yeah.
But it could be literally about anything.
Yeah.
And right is right and wrong is wrong. And to me, it's not that.
All right, y'all, we're going to go ahead and stop it right there. We at the 20-minute mark. And like I said, I don't want to hold y'all too long. I think Mama Word is going to come in and say a few words. We're going to wrap it up with a few bops, per usual, and get up out of here, y'all. But thank you for everybody who came to join and listen. Let me go ahead and grab Mama. We're going to swap out real quick. She has a few things to say. But y'all, let me know what y'all think about this interview and these conversations, all three of the ones that I was able to play for you all this evening. And basically that last comment that Gabrielle Union said, right is right and wrong is wrong. And that's always going to be what I feel. So let me go ahead and grab Mama Word, y'all, and we will be right back.
Funny how the rules change, depending on who holding the microphone. Ain't justice, it's popularity. Let's talk about it. Yeah. Everybody dancing till the spotlight hit. Same people scream peace to promote that ish. Talking about moles with a mouth full of life. I'm on stones all day while they live in disguise. One side cry, other side don't. Same blood spill, but they act like it won't. Selected with the tears, selected with the rage. Truth get buried underneath internet praise. Real streets cold, better watch your six. Fake love disappear when the views don't click. Everybody judge from a live stream chair. Never touch the pain, but they swear they care. Posting black squares, posting hashtags. Soon as cameras leave, they go right back. Everybody got a cake for their favorite name. If the enemy do it, then it's all blame. How you screaming justice, but justice got a price? How you preaching loyalty, then switching overnight? Hypocrite. I can see right through the counterfeit. Talking loud, but your actions never fit. Different rules depending who committed it. Hypocrite. You're only angry when it's benefiting. Turn your pain into a competition. Truth don't care about your politicians. Hypocrite. Everybody wanna judge, nobody wanna fit. Now let's talk YouTube, yeah, the digital block. Everybody chasing algorithms now. Selling fake beef just to make them bow. Clicks over character every single day. Then wonder why respect them faded away. Building little armies, calling folks sheep. Meanwhile, everybody's stealing everybody's speech. Fake investigations, fake receipts. Half the channels living off recycled tweets. If your favorite do it, it's misunderstood. If somebody else do it, man, they no good. They selective outrage, they select the grades. Different energy depending on the person's face. Cancel one, celebrate another. Call one queen, then destroy her sister. They don't want accountability, they want entertainment. They monetize the vision and call it engagement. I'm from where survival wasn't just a phrase, where silence could decide your final days. So miss me with the acting, miss me with the skits. make every move caught. Some play the ultimate lock. Mama praying hard while them sirens scream. Babies growing up because somebody else's dream. Now the YouTube streets got the same disease. Everybody selling outraged by the piece. Build you up, break it down, repeat. Bogus controversy paying all the fees. Truth ain't trending, lies on viral. Everybody running circles in the spiral. Cloud got people trading souls for applause. And corner scriptures while they breaking every law. If we really want it healing, we stop it ourselves. Instead of putting everybody else's life on the shelf. Mirror don't lie when you face me. Can't Photoshop your character. Can't filter your integrity. We recognize what's counterfeit. The streets watching, God watching. Everything documented. Oh, yeah. You can't fool forever. True. Got a longer memory. Yeah, the streets remember. Yeah, the internet remembers, but God remembers everything. So before you point another finger, count the ones pointing back at you. Yeah. Hypocrite. Hypocrite.
Well, good evening, everyone. This is Mama Warrior Gigi Fox coming at you. Mama, it's 6:59 p.m. on 7/21/2026. I have been in this live. I have immensely enjoyed all the interviews, especially this one with Gabrielle Union, whom I can relate with, and I'm pretty sure others can as well, especially when it comes to PTSD. That is a very big situation, and it takes a lot of work to heal and get yourself to a basic stature in life from that. I suffered with it too. And every day, I take a lot of medication. I do virtual therapy, and I'm also part of a group that actually supports and comes together with other people suffering from the same thing. And it is very traumatic and it's very scary. It also interfered with my social skills. Like there are times that I don't want to go outside the house. I don't want to be around people. That can be for a moment or so. I'm not saying for always, but these are symptoms and things that you do go through and experience. And I have experienced those things, but like I said, proactive going forward. I do have virtual therapy. I have my medications. I have a wonderful daughter who knows exactly what to do if a crisis comes up with her mom, and I'm going through something. So I thank God for her. I want to also go ahead and thank God and ask God to bless anyone who has been a victim of DV or any kind of traumatic incident in their life. So I'm asking God to bless and heal them, as well as myself. And it just goes to show you, you never know what someone is going through or what they've got going on. So that's why we should be a little more compassionate and understand Sorry, guys, we had a little technical difficulty there in mid sentence. But anyway, like I was saying, I do understand the subject of PTSD. I never would have known that Gabrielle Union was going through that. It's nice of her to share because it helps us all to heal and get ourselves together. Uh, but uh, but I just wanted to share that with you. And like I said, I do ask God to bless and heal anyone who's been through any sort of traumatic experience or DV or SA or whatever. I'm just asking God to continue to bless and heal you and to continue to deliver you from this trauma. And I love you all. Thank you all for letting me speak. And I'm going to return this back to Golden. Okay? All right, just hold on now.
All right, y'all. So I'm back. We're gonna go ahead and get this all wrapped up. Thank you guys so much for listening. And that was Mama Word. She just wanted to come and share a few things about, just her own personal experiences and stuff like that. But I just didn't want to hold you guys for too long. So we're gonna go ahead and get it all ended. Um, but yeah, basically some of the things overall that I just wanted to say, y'all, before we exit out is that we should be able to extend grace to others and protect our own peace. Everyone is carrying unseen burdens, so let compassion be your default response. At the same time, curate your circle carefully. Surround yourself with people who pour love, honesty, and peace into your cup rather than draining it out. And so, as we wrap up today's live, take a look at the thread running through every single one of these stories. Your evolution will always require your alignment. Charlamagne had to choose truth over toxicity. Tabitha had to choose divine obedience over people pleasing. And Gabrielle had to choose active healing and peace over silent suffering. None of these decisions were easy, but every single one of them was necessary. So we have to remember, do not let the noise of the world trick you into judging people from afar when you haven't walked in their shoes. And don't let anyone trick you out of your own growth. Protect your spirit, do the work in private that will sustain you in public, and remember that your peace is worth protecting at all costs. So stand in your truth, walk tall in it, walk in your purpose, and keep shining. And y'all know this is Golden and Mama Warrior. We love and appreciate each and every one of you. And I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your evening, morning, afternoon, or night. Thank you so much for tuning in. Y'all know how we do it. We're going to end it with a little bop. And I will see y'all on the next live, y'all. Thank you so much. Golden and Mama Warrior out. Bye.
Listen, can you feel it? Something shifted. The air don't feel the same. Too many masks falling. Too many truths walking in the daylight. Justice been patient. Now she's knocking at every door. Oh, let's go. It's over. It's over. It's over. What's hidden always finds the sunlight. was planted in darkness always grows toward the light. It's over, the tide done turned. The whole world finally starting to discern. We cried, we built, we stood, we healed. Now look at what refusing to quit revealed. It's over. Funny how silence got louder than the lies. Funny how fake smiles couldn't survive real eyes. Everybody wanted power, nobody wanted truth. Now accountability walking in expensive boots. Used to laugh, used to mock, used to throw stones. Now everybody's scrambling, trying to protect thrones. Light don't argue, it just shines. Truth don't rush, it arouse on time. Respect don't disappear, energy don't lie. Everything eventually meets the most high. No shortcuts, no cheating, no editing history. What's done in the shadows always becomes somebody's testimony. Can you feel that? The atmosphere changing. People protecting peace instead of entertaining. Killing, replacing hate. Purpose replacing fame. The culture waking up, nothing feeling the same. It's over. No more pretending. It's over. It's over. A new beginning. Truth too bright. Can't dim that light. Just it showed up. Now everything's sitting right. It's over. The season changed. The energy rearranged. One chapter closed. Another one raised. The timelines, from classrooms to front lines. People standing tall, speaking with intention. Learning every platform carries real consequences. Less tearing people down, more lifting people up. Less chasing empty clout, more building real trust. Every grandmother praying, every father staying, every child dreaming, every voice saying, enough, enough hiding, enough dividing, enough pretending everything alright when people dying. And the next generation watching every movie make. Let's leave them something stronger than another fake debate. Who we are, true, what we want. How we move forward, how we lead together. Boom. Ain't no victory lap, it's a healing march. Everybody carrying visible and invisible scars. Some lost family, some lost hope. Some almost gave up, barely stayed afloat. But look now, the sun's still rising. The future looking brighter, the vision getting wider. Real ones never fold and never sold their souls. Stay 10 toes while the pressure made them go. Their respect sounding louder than gossip. Character worth more than popularity. Integrity becoming a new luxury. That's the flex. No revenge, just growth. No hate, just hope. No bitterness, just wisdom. No fear, just vision. It's the dawn of another chapter. Built stronger, built wiser, built together. Darkness couldn't hold us. The truth finally showed us who we are, who we can be. What happens when people choose unity? Fear don't own us. Love still growing, justice still flowing. Keep your head high, keep your light bright. The dawn of a new era starts tonight. They counted us out, but they never counted on the truth. The world changing, one voice, one family, one act of courage at a time. Golden Queen, this ain't the ending, it's the beginning. It's over. It's over. It's over. It's over. It's over. They don't know her like I do. Nah. Golden. She moved through the city with her hair held high. Pretty brown skin with a storm inside. Everybody see the glow, they don't know the pressure. Smile so warm, but her heart no weather. Late nights riding while the skyline blurred. Trying not to cry when the memories occurred. Had to learn fast, everybody ain't loyal. Some people love you long as they control you. Now she move careful, energy expensive. Too many fake vibes hiding in the friendship. Used to give love with her hands wide open. Now every scar got the whole vibe frozen. They don't know her like I. No, they don't know her like I. She goes by golden. Soft voice, deep soul, hope or glowing. She goes by focus. Everybody watching, but they don't really know. Like golden. Too much grace with the games they throwing. Real love, rare soul spirits, they got it. Beautiful soul, but the pain left marks in it. Mirror tell the truth when the lights go dim. All the things she carry weight heavy within. She survived nights she don't even speak on. Still finding peace what the whole world ain't wrong. Funny how the love disappear when you're healing. Funny how the fate come around when you win. Now she trusts God more than people intend. Just cause smiles hot and being hidden in the big. She's still soft-hearted but she way less naive. Can't keep pouring love but there's nothing received. Still dancing slow through the hurt and confusion. Trying not to lose herself chasing illusions. She survived the fire. Still glowing through the smoke. Still sad. Still dangerous. Still chosen. She goes back golden. Snow so deep made the whole room notice. Heavy lies couldn't break what was chosen. Still standing tall while the whole world folding. She goes back golden. Heartbreak turned to pains in the matter. Now the tears got rhythm when she's singing. And they still don't know her like that. They still don't know her like that. Spend too much time looking for love in strangers. Spend too much time. Spend too much time letting outside voices shake the mirror. But at the end of the night, when the lights fade, when the city cried, when the tears dried, we still got